And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. One more time from ETV Live, the leader in sim broadcasting, coming to you from Atlanta Motor Speedway here tonight. And coming to you from Atlanta Motor Speedway here tonight, guys. 175 laps on the board here with OCRL. Now, these guys started out back in 2006. It was the beginning of an era. It was called the East Coast Racing League back then. And then they came along around 2009. The name was changed to the current name, Online Championship Racing League. And I'll tell you what, these guys just get together and have a whole ton of fun here at the OCRL. In the booth with me tonight, David Damboy is joining us for the first time. Sean Peachin along for the ride. Sean is here by special request by Dakota Ehrman. Dakota, of course, driving tonight. We'll get with Dakota a little bit later on. Qualifying to take place here just shortly as they wrap up practice. John Wessling, the bad boy, magic fingers we call him, back at the office. He'll be pushing the buttons on the cameras for you tonight, as always, bringing you the best coverage from corner to corner here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And guys, let's start out with Sean Peachin. There's a special reason why you're here tonight. Tell us why.
Oh yeah, last week we were out, or not last week, it was 2 weeks ago, we were out driving in Indianapolis, and I had told you some strategy and some things that I wanted to have happen during the race, and you, being you, told Dakota, and Dakota watched and then talked trash about my race because I was only able to finish 10th. So I talked equal amount of trash to Dakota this week coming into Atlanta, and so he requested that I come and apparently witness his brilliance on track. So, you know, we'll see. Apparently he's really good in these cars. I'm excited to watch, and if he can, I hope that he can finish better than I did, but if he makes one mistake, I'm going to be all over it and just talking mad trash.
Right. I tell you what, you know, Sean Peachin and Dakota Ehrman, I tell you what, a couple of peas in a pod. Let me tell you, these two cats get together over there in the booth, and you never know what's going to happen. But Sean, glad you're able to make it here tonight, and you're making that young man awful proud down there on the track for sure. David Damboy is joining us for the first time here tonight on ETV Live, Cowboy. Well, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing fantastic and looking forward to this great OCRL Nationwide Series event here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. One heck of a field we got here, don't we?
Absolutely, and I'll tell you what, let's take you down through the points here a little bit and let you know who's who and who's where here at the OCRL. Starting out at the top and taking a second place win last week at Dover, Jeff Becky Jr. He's the leader of the pack here tonight, 682 points to the good side. He's got a couple of wins, 10 top 5 finishes here, guys. 4 top 10s to his name, so no wonder he's at the top of the pile. Finishing 8th at Dover last week. In second place, Patrick O'Toole. He's 148 points behind Jeff Backey Jr. Now, O'Toole, what's keeping him up here, he's got some top 10s piled up here. In fact, 9 of them. And that just goes to show you consistency does pay off. With 9 top 10 finishes. Sitting in third, who did not start Dover, he didn't race at Dover last week, Alex Buffoli. He's 491 points to the good side, 191 behind the leaders. He's got a top 5 finish here at the OCRL and a number of top 10s, 4 to be exact. And sitting in fourth position is going to be Chris Thomas Dukes. Chris is 196 points behind the leader, guys. A couple of top 10 finishes here, or a couple of top 5s rather, 8 top 10 finishes. So, you know, no wonder he's up here inside the top 10 as well. And of course, rounding out the top 5 here, up a position this week, Jake Finch. Jake is sitting 216 points behind the leader. He's got a couple of top 5s, 7 top 10s. Here at the OCRL, finished 7th at Dover last week, David.
Yeah, absolutely. He had a good run there, going through 6th through 10. Julian Medor, he won the Phoenix event earlier on this season. He is 6th in points. He gained a spot over Shannon Sigler, who dropped over to 7th. He's got 1 win and 5 top 5s. Todd Smith, He is. He drives the Chevrolet Todd, as we joke here. He's got Todd on the front end. He's starting, or he's 8th in points. He's got 3 top 5s, 4 top 10s. Unknown driver. No one knows who he is. 1 top 5, 2 top 10s. It's part of the RPM structure here. And that guy, 10th, David Amboys. He's got 1 top 5, 2 top 10s. Didn't really fare all that well at Dover, and I figured let me take the week off and get my broadcast debut on.
I tell you what, glad to have you up here in the booth. And I know you're a broadcast student. Took some courses in college, I believe, and studied broadcasting. So it's good to have some, some professionalism up here in the booth, I guess you call it.
Absolutely.
But, maybe you can give the rest of us some lessons in broadcasting. What do you think?
Who knows? Maybe I'll give you guys some pointers by the end of the night.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what, qualifying about ready to get underway here in a couple of minutes. They're wrapping up what's left of practice here. Dakota Ehrman, he sits 23rd in the points. He's up 5 positions this week, Cowboy. Took the trophy home from Dover last week. He's relatively new to the league. That's why he's so far down in the points. But I'll tell you what, give him some time, Cowboy, and watch that number 39 machine go right to the top. And as far as the teams goes, Dakota's running for junior JR Motorsports, I guess you call it. And it's not the JR that you think. It's Jeff Backey Jr.'s team. It's going to be Jason Gaines, Dakota Ehrman, Jeff Backey Jr., Jake Finch tonight. And David, I know you're probably a little bit more familiar with some of these teams. O'Toole Motorsports, Robert Cole, Patrick O'Toole, Nathan Smith. Next Gen Motorsports, Connor Fay, single driver on that team so far. And NSE Racing, a little story behind them. Tell us about NSE.
Well, NSC Racing is the new name for Northern Motorsports. The team announced this week that they were changing their name from Northern Motorsports to NSC Racing. They have a little bit of a different lineup tonight. They have Alex Boffoli, who normally drives for the team. But the other 3 drivers don't usually drive for NSC Racing. Michael Keaton, Mike Kirby, and Shannon Sigler. Normally it's Mike Husby, who's the other driver over there at the Northern NSC Racing stable there. But he will be running for Can-Am Racing tonight.
All right, and of course the broadcast coming at you on ETV Live, ETV Live Radio. We apologize to the fans out there who are listening and tuned in, watching the broadcast from the Channel 1 Stock Car channel from the etv-eplay.net. The forum is not working. A little message popped up and told us we need to get the new code. Got the new code, and of course, obviously that didn't work. But qualifying underway. Let's get it rolling here, David.
Absolutely, and it appears as if the first car that's going to take time here tonight is going to be Christopher Austin Thomas Dukes. He is obviously 4th in points, as we talked about earlier on. We'll just waiting on seeing when he's jumping out here. And we're still waiting. Yep.
All right, qualifying going to get started here just momentarily here, guys.
Yeah, I'll take this short time to mention that this is the first time that I have ever broadcast a NASCAR oval race. I've done a nationwide all-star race, and I did ovals for IndyCar, but this is the first of the both that I get to call.
All right, and I'll tell you, Sean Petchin worked with Sean Pivick for a little while here on ETV Live. We were calling some, broadcasting some road races, but first one out of the hole here, David.
Yeah, it will be the number 86 of Cody McCorkle. He is coming out here with the Applebee's Chevrolet. Cody had some struggles early on in the season. He was originally with Northern, then formed his own team with, and now he's a part of Bombshell E3. The thing with Cody is he was dealing with connection issues for a solid part of the first half of the season and has recently returned to the OCRL.
All right, and as Cody makes his way around the track here, trying to lay down the quickest time as he can possibly get here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. 1.5-mile track, one of the fastest ones on the NASCAR circuit. Look for 200 mile an hour plus speeds going into turn 1 down the front stretch here, guys. So I'll tell you what, and that's an e-ticket ride all by itself. Oh, he gets a little bit of wiggle coming off before, tags the wall as he comes across the start-finish line. So that's going to upset his qualifying time for sure.
Yeah, he didn't lay down a time, but it looks like he's just about used up the side of that Applebee Chevrolet, and he's going to call it a night there. As we move on to the next car, the number 33 Ingersoll Rand Chevrolet of Stephen Cox. Stephen has a couple of good runs here. He ran really well at Road America earlier this season and had some decent runs going for most of the season. If you look right now, he has 3 top 5s and 7 top 10s coming into the night's event.
And Stephen Cox coming across the start-finish line and picks up the green flag here, guys. And I'll tell you what, a little bit about Atlanta Motor Speedway. This is a pretty tough track. Coming off of turn 1 at almost 200 miles an hour, coming on, and then going into turn 2, that wall coming up right there on the outside comes up really quick. And then you hustle down the backstretch, and then going into 3 and 4 here. Now you're going to see guys taking the high line and the bottom line here throughout the night. It's pretty much your choice what you got your car set up to take. But I'll tell you, coming off turn 4, that outside wall right there before the dog leg on the front stretch, that comes up pretty quick too.
Yeah, and his first time is a 29.393. He's the only one who's posted a time so far, so obviously he is fastest. Todd Smith in the Bass Pro Shops Tracker Boats Chevrolet Todd, the number 16. Todd has had some good runs going also this season. He finds himself 8th in points, 3 top 5s, 4 top 10s coming into this season. And he's getting ready. Fun fact about Todd's car, if you notice on the front, it says Chevrolet Todd. It doesn't say Chevrolet Impala. It says Chevrolet Todd. It's a new make by Chevy, I guess.
Chevrolet Todd.
Oh, he gets loose off a 2. He hangs on to it, though.
Yeah, big wiggle coming off a 2. That's going to slow him down here just a little bit. Tough to recover from something like that. Boy, these qualifying laps, Dave Sean. Oh, he gets another big wiggle, wow. Almost losing it off of turn 4. Gets it back together again, but that's certainly not the kind of time he's looking for here tonight. He'll come across the line with a 30.319. Certainly going to put him near the back of the pack when we go green.
All right, moving on up, the second man in points. The number 44, Slim Jim Chevrolet of Patrick Front Row O'Toole. Patrick, no top 5s, but he's got 9 top 10s, and that's what helped him get to second in points going into this season.
Finishing 8th at Dover last week, guys. So, good solid top 10 finish there. Comes down low off of 4, takes that dog leg just perfect. Comes across the start-finish line, picks up the green flag for his qualifying run here. Off into turn 1. He's going to stay up in that middle lane here a little bit. He's got the speed, takes it down to the apron. Back up towards the wall coming off of turn 2 down the backstretch. He'll post speeds of about 190 plus mile an hour here coming to turn 3.
189 to be exact going into turn number 3. Patrick finished 15th in the first event here at Atlanta this season. The OCRL Nationwide Series comes here twice, and this time will be a 29.559, good enough to put him second.
And as expected, Todd Smith going to slip down to 3rd place, but next one out there, David.
The number 38 is Shannon Segler. This guy, man, he had a pretty good season going until a couple of weeks ago when he stopped running the Nationwide Series, but has come back to run this event. He finds himself, he won the Bristol event earlier on this season, and he's got 5 top 5s and 3 top 10s coming into this event.
It's always good to come into these events with a lot of momentum, with some good finishes, and it'll be good to see him post these times and see exactly where he falls into the pack here. Really impressive thing with these cars here at Atlanta. A lot of speed and able to make those corners, a little bit of help with the banking, so it's always awesome to come to Atlanta and see these cars tearing up the track and setting some serious speed.
Well, you would think with the 650 horsepower that the Nationwide car has here in the iRacing service that they wouldn't be able to get near 200 miles an hour, but they are just nearly touching it coming off of, or going into turn 1. Sigler ran a 29.271. Up next, the number 10, Sean Sadler, in the GoPro Dodge Impala Chevrolet Charger thing.
I guess that's what happens when we hit a economic recession. We just go ahead and start blending American car companies.
Hey, who knows? I'm gonna keep my political views quiet. I was always taught be neutral as possible as Sadler comes down to get his time lapped in. Sadler, in the previous event, finished 5th here at Atlanta in the spring. So hoping to duplicate or even improve on that as he gets a little squirrely off of 2 and drives down the backstretch going into turn 3.
And one of the things on the service that I drive mainly the open wheel stuff, as I mentioned before, but when I do drive these NASCAR style cars, it's always tough coming out of the corner with the way they're set up to keep those things straight. So easy to go loose.
29.813 for Sean Sadler. Moving on, the number 75, Michael Enos. Not much is known about Michael. He ran the Richmond race earlier on this season, and I believe he ran Road America as well. Did not really fare all that well there. Hasn't run too many races here, and he finds himself 31st in points and 648 back. He's ran 2 races to be exact. Brand new league, and if you could tell, he's got the red stripe on the back. He is indeed an iRacing rookie. So he comes to the line to take that lap. A thing about Atlanta that a lot of these drivers are going to have to keep track of is tires. This place is almost compared to the old Darlington, and he's way up high next to the wall coming off of turn number 2. Tires here are very important, and it's going to be every caution someone's going to come in and get tires.
Yeah, going to want to always try to maintain the highest grip possible there around this track, especially given the load put on the right side tires and all that speed.
Enos runs a 29.703, good enough for 4th. In the Ford EcoBoost number 99, Thomas Morris Jr., who has been on fire in the RMPCS, the RM Pipeline Cup Series here at the OCRL, but running the nationwide events as usual, as he gets his Ford winded up and ready to go, coming through 3 and 4. Morris, part of the Pinnacle Racing team, which features Matt Kingston, Chris Munger, Dylan Cece, who we'll talk about here shortly, and Thomas Morris, indeed, as here they go through turn 1 and 2. I think turn 2 is going to be the problem spot. A lot of drivers have been getting loose here in qualifying, but even then, it's going to be something to watch out here for the rest of the race.
Yeah, corner 2 coming on that back straightaway does look like it's going to be a little bit tricky for those guys, but it'll be interesting to see those cars work and those drivers work.
Sean goes quick time, 29.237. I believe I called him Sean. His name is Thomas. What am I talking about? Connor Fay! First time jitters, folks. Connor Fay in the number 06 is now out there. He is attempting his run here. Rather bright paint scheme with the pink front end there on the 06. Don't believe Connor ran the first race here this season. He is the only driver being represented in the Next Gen Motorsports stable tonight.
Michael Keaton will be up next, guys. Michael Keaton is also an ETV Live personality here. You can catch Michael on Monday nights with the Real Sim Racing Full Throttle Cup Series, calling the action with the boys, Dakota Herman and Ian Plash and the whole crew on Monday night. So Michael will be up next. Let's see how Connor Fay does here tonight.
He runs 3rd with a 29.383. That puts him in between Sigler and Stephen Cox. Michael Keaton, like you said, the number 15 Home Depot Chevrolet is set to go next. As here he comes out onto the speedway. Actually, that is a Toyota, my bad. Chevrolet Toyota.
Spent a little time with Michael pre-race here down in the garage a little bit. Michael says he doesn't really want to get too good of a qualifying. He wants to start in the back here tonight. So not looking for a real solid run here. Just going to keep four wheels on the track, pointed in the right direction, and get a good finish here. So Michael Keaton in the 15 car on his way around, picking the green flag this time by. He'll get his one lap in, and then next up will be Timothy Stillman here in just a little bit.
Yep, Tim, the man they call Batman, is going through turns 1 and 2 here as he's coming up off of the turn number 2 corner, heading into turn number 3. Let's see how fast he gets. He hits 188 miles an hour. That's fast. Coming through 3 and 4 and down to the front straightaway. Oh, it looks like he had to back out of it.
Yeah, he backed out of it considerably.
Yeah, I wonder what's... And now he's pulling a Carl Edwards running down pit road here, and you gotta wonder what he's doing. It looks like he's gonna call that a lap. 31.767, that's slowest so far. Timothy Silliman in the number 52 STP car.
And I know Amber Keaton probably sitting anxiously watching the broadcast here tonight. And again, we apologize, ETV Live. The chat room is not working tonight. You see the code up there. We have replaced the code, but apparently it's just not working tonight. We do apologize for that. Tennessee Silman out there on the track right now, picks up the green flag on his way around, coming off of turn 2, heading down the backstretch here just shortly.
Yeah, here he comes off of turn number 2. Like I said earlier, turn 2 might be the problem spot. Saw a lot of drivers in practice getting loose off of turn number 2.
Looked like the car had a little bit of hesitation there going through turn 1, but he's got it all corrected and now down into turn number 3.
Yeah, here he goes to the line, and that will be a 29.418. That'll shove him into 5th. So he will be 5th moving forward. Next, the Grime Boss Clean Machine of Christopher Sweat. Chris Sweat, he drives for my team here at Nexus, or over here at the OCRL, Nexus Motorsports. I got no bias whatsoever, but I think he's pretty good. Chris has had some tough runs. The finishes aren't indicative of his runs. He's had some good runs going, but just the finishes haven't been there, as here he comes to the line to take the green flag.
Car certainly looks okay through turns 1 and 2. A little loose there off of 2. A little loose off of 2, but he's got it collected and now heads down into turn number 3.
A little bit.
He was pegging 190 as he went into turn 3 as well, so good speed out of that car.
Yeah, and here he comes to the line. Let's see what that number 23 car can do. 29.369. That'll put him 3rd fastest, ahead of Connor Fay, Stephen Cox, Timothy Sullivan, Patrick O'Toole. Many names there. The Canadian, the number 31, Fastenal Ford of Matt Kingston. Kingston has had some good runs this season. He finds himself 26th in points, 3 top 10s, but he's only run 4 events here in the Nationwide Series, so he's definitely shown in a short time here that he can contend. Remember running around him at Indianapolis earlier this season, and it was quite a blast running with him. He's a clean driver, and he will always show you respect out there.
Now, certainly one of the finer qualities when you get into some of these leagues. Just the amount of respect between drivers is just monumental and makes things quite fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Once you get into these leagues, sometimes you get into a league where it's very hostile. Everyone wants to cut throat. Everyone wants to win a race. But this place, the OCRL, TheOCRL.com, one of the finest leagues in sim racing, in my opinion. 29.310 for Matt Kingston. He finds himself 3rd. And now the number 80 of John Dragonetti. John was just recently named one of the admins here at the OCRL, so it's nice to see him coming out and actually trying to run one of these instead of just policing it.
You bet. And John Dragonetti driving for Bombshell E3 Motorsports. That's Eric, Mickey, Steven, Cox, and Cody McCorkle. So with Dragonetti out on the track, picking up the green flag for his run down the dog leg into turn one. And, you know, interesting, these guys watching the qualifying runs here, you know, they've run the bottom, they've run the middle, they've run the top.
Oh, he gets into the wall.
It's, we call that a souvenir here on ETV Live, but down the backstretch going into turn 3 here. Now, he's been running that mid-line through the turns a little bit. The one thing about Atlanta Motor Speedway, this is a very fast track. And, you know, I guess you can equate it to putting a marble on a turntable and spinning the table. When that marble shoots out to the outside, that's exactly what these cars do. And, you know, when they build up speed. So, as Dragonetti completes his lap,
which didn't get posted because he hit the wall, and if you hit the wall, it won't post a time. Well, very rarely will it post a time. Alex Boffley in the number 08 Chevrolet comes to the line, takes the green flag. Alex is third in points, and as he shoots out some sparks going through turn 1 and 2. Alex is third in points, and he has had a really good season, but has struggled with finishing races, but he still finds himself third in points. He didn't make the last 2 events. Unfortunately, he was kind of held hostage by that hurricane going through the Gulf. 29.562, that'll put him 9th in on the chart. Up next, number 88, that will be Jake Finch, as actually Boffley walls it after his lap. I wonder if they'll go to a backup car or not.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah. Jake Finch, driver of the number 88 G Series Gatorade Chevrolet for Junior Motorsports. Team named, obviously, after Jeff Backey Jr.
Jake up a notch this week, guys. Sitting in the top 5 here in the overall points. Had a pretty decent finish, top 5 finish or top 10 finish at Dover last week with a 7th place. He's 216 off the leader, Jeff Backey Jr. up there as he makes his way to turn 2.
Well, he holds just 10 points over Julian Medor in 6th place, so that'll be something to kind of watch for tonight. See that battle for 5th in the points. Not that many races left. Last time I checked, there was only 4 or 5 events left in this OCRL Nationwide Series season, as here he comes to the line. 29.342, that'll put him 4th. And next, his teammate, the number 8 of Jeff Backey Jr.
And Jeff Backey Jr., of course, your points leader, finishing 2nd at Dover. That was 2nd to Dakota Ehrman last week. So I'll tell you another, looking at the points here, guys, before we get back to the 8 machine, there's another points battle brewing too. That's going to be between Buffoli and Chris Thomas Dukes. They're only 5 points apart. That's going to be 3rd and 4th position. So look for some change up after Atlanta here tonight for sure.
Yep, as Backey comes and gets the green flag. Backey finished 2nd to Dakota Ehrman, like you said, but Dakota was stout all night. It was a race for 2nd most of the night. Dakota led something like 139 laps of last week's event at Dover, as Backey goes through 3 and 4, using the low line that time, arcs it out wide, as here he comes to the line for his timed lap, and that will put him 5th with a 29.366. Thomas Morris Jr.'s time is holding up.
Yeah, it is a little bit interesting because we did see in the practice session cars getting into the 29.1, maybe even the 29.0. So interesting to see that time still holding up this deep into qualifying.
Yeah, the number 51, Julian Medor. We nicknamed him the Matador. He's got 1 win here. He won the Phoenix event earlier on in the season. That was when he was with Northern Motorsports, has since left and joined my team, Nexus Motorsports. Julian is one of the most underrated drivers here in the OCRL, in my honest opinion, and I'm not just saying that because I'm his team owner. I honestly mean that. He has had really, really good runs going, and kind of the same with Chris, just hasn't had the finishes to show it.
Couple of notches out of the top 10 at Dover last week, but he is up a position in the points this week. So, of course, you were talking about him earlier, Jake Finch and Mador here, just about 10 points apart. So this could be a huge night for either one of these guys here tonight as the 51 comes across, heading for the start-finish line here and going off into turn 1.
Second, 29.248. That'll knock Shannon Sigler off the front row as he puts up quite a good time. Good job. 24 of Brian Bliss. Brian Bliss running tonight. Doesn't appear to have run a OCRL event earlier this year, at least not for points. So we'll have to see how he fares. Anytime you run with a new guy, it kind of raises some questions. You kind of wonder what is going to happen. You kind of wonder how you're going to race around him. But he's out there by himself right now as he goes and gets the green flag.
On his way through turns 1 and 2 here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Tough track here tonight, one of the fastest ones on the NASCAR circuit here. So as we watch the 24 car hustle down the backstretch here, I've seen a lot of these guys here tonight been pretty much driving that middle lane up here. It was Julian Mador who was able to secure that bottom lane down there next to the apron line and put himself right up there at the top, starting second, or at least qualifying in the second position here tonight. But it ain't over yet, Cowboy, as Brian Bliss returns his time. Good enough for fourth place here, 29.307.
All right, moving on. My co-host on the official podcast of the OCRL, the OCRL Race Report. He comes through here and
Alright, I think David may be having some issues with his microphone over here, but the 55 car of Christopher Munger has picked up his green flag. A little bit of a wiggle coming off of turn 2 down the backstretch heading into turn 3. He's going to opt for that the middle lane going through, as we've seen pretty much all night long. Not too many drivers taking that bottom lane around Atlanta Motor Speedway here tonight. And he comes across the start-finish line.
10th.
And Christopher Munger, well, yeah, you bet, going to pick up 10th place starting spot.
29 point. Must be mess with the new guy night tonight or something. My microphone stopped working randomly. Moving right along, this guy has been the hottest driver in the OCRL lately. The number 32 of Dylan Cece. Get this. We have the late model tour here. He won that. He didn't run the nationwide race. Didn't even show up. Ran the cup race. He won that. And the truck series. He won that.
I think you guys up in Canada call that the hat trick then?
Well, anyone in hockey would call that the hat trick. It wasn't a natural hat trick. He didn't win them all in a row, but he did a pretty good job as he comes through 3 and 4.
And the 32 Dylan Cece down on the bottom there near the apron coming through turns 3 and 4. As we've seen a few of the drivers here tonight, he'll come across the start-finish line. That's
top time.
Oh, I'll tell you what, 29.162, guys. 29.162. And I believe that's going to set the track record. I failed to mention that during pre-race, guys. Eric Mickey had the record for the nationwide series here at the OCRL, 29.463. So that's way below Dylan Cece with a 29.162.
In fact, a good chunk of this field has broken the track record here at Atlanta from earlier this season. That was just set here in the spring, so somewhere in between the time that we were last year and the time we are here now, this track gained 3/10 as Mike Husby comes into turn 1 and 2. The number 36 Elliott's Collision Service Chevrolet. I tell you what, that car is beautiful. That's one of my favorite cars here at the OCRL. Just the stars. It looks like the old Bill Elliott Mac Tonight paint scheme they used to run in the late 90s. Husby has been good. He's currently in the Cup Chase here at the OCRL, but he's running the Nationwide Series, and this time will be a 29.208. That will put him second. So now we have an all-new front row in just 2 cars, Dylan Cece and Mike Husby.
And the old time of 4.63 went by the wayside when actually Timothy Silman picked his time up, and he's qualified 14th so far. So I'll tell you what, between the time when the record was set in the 2012, probably the last race, I would imagine here, David.
Yeah, absolutely. The last time we were here was when that track record was set. So very, very fast times as Braden Oakley is dealing with, I believe, some connection issues, but as he comes through 1 and 2 in the number 7 3M Chevrolet, as I don't know if that's just on my end or what, but oh, he gets loose and he's gonna clobber the inside wall. Oh my goodness!
Loose coming off of turn 2, and you know, we've seen this happen before, right in the middle of the races. But comes off turn 2 and just breaks it loose. Hard to keep that back end on the ground, and around he goes to the inside wall. 4 car of Eric Mickey out on the track now, making his qualifying run. 5th fastest in practice with a 29.160. So let's see what he's got for a qualifying run here at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Wilkinson's going to need some of those 3M products to bring that car into the hauler, let alone run it tonight. Eric Mickey in the NRA Chevrolet. Mickey's had some good runs, really good runs this season. He is part of Bombshell E3. I can think of multiple times where he's run in the top 5, top 10 this season, not running for points in the Nationwide Series.
And of course, one more time, this is also being broadcast on the ETV Live Autosports Entertainment Network. You can catch it on the ETV Live radio. Click the link on the front page up there. All of our broadcasts are done here live on the radio, as well as the live page here at the home site. So if you're tuning in tonight watching it live, again, we apologize for the chat room not being up. I really miss that because we are very fan interactive here. And man, that really that disturbs me quite a bit.
Eric Mickey just ran a 29.163, 1/1000th off of the pole, so he finds himself second. Scott Ickes in the number 17 Chevrolet. He's coming through 3 and 4, coming to the front stretch and taking time. He is the current Cup Series points leader, dropping down to run the Nationwide Series event tonight.
And the 17 car Scott Ickes makes his way off of turn 2, down the backstretch he goes, awfully close to that wall there, but that's what you got to get, some of that draft coming off that wall, get that vector moving, and he opts for the bottom line coming through turns 3 and 4. And usually that's a pretty fast run there as he comes across the line.
Third, 29.177. So that'll put him third as we move forward to the man, number 07, Dakota Ehrman, the ETV Live Chevrolet.
Here we go. Let's see what he's got.
No pressure, kid. No pressure.
I told him before when I was down in the garage, I told him, you just keep your eyes on the windshield and don't worry about ETV Live up here. But Dakota Ehrman looking pretty sweet. Off that high line, extreme high line. He'll come across the start-finish line, pick up that green flag for his qualifying run here. Dakota running in that 07 car here tonight. As he goes off into turn 1, got a good line going in, opts for the bottom lane down here. If he's got to get it right coming off of turn 2, get up next to that wall. Nice smooth exit. Down the backstretch going into turn 3, David.
Got it.
I think we're losing, better check the
plug. Oh, there we go. There we go. I don't know what's going on. I think my control button's broken, but here we go. Let's see, at 29.201, it looked good, but it wasn't fast enough. Fourth fastest for the '07.
All right. What do
Moving
you think, Sean?
forward.
Interesting run there. So we'll see. Perhaps the points and the money aren't made during qualifying, but yeah, I was expecting second.
High standards from
Indeed.
my broadcast colleague. Jason Gaines, the number 5. Jason is returning to the OCRL racing ranks. He took a little time off, but has decided to come out of that sabbatical to run here tonight. Number 5 Chevrolet.
And Jason Gaines with fast practice times, the lowest of his practice times, 29:1:27. We'll see if he can match that on his qualifying run here. But tell you what, coming across turns 3 and 4 here, he takes the bottom lane as well, guys. Heading for the start-finish line. We'll see what his time is.
If it's good, if it's the same as practice, and it is not, he will find himself 4th. So a lot of these guys can't match the times that they were running in practice.
And that'll move Dakota Ehrman to the 3rd row. Dakota slips down to starting position number 5. 1 car left, I believe, guys.
Yes, that is the final car. That is the final car. That will be Mike Kirby in the number 20. Kirby took a little bit of a break, but he has come back. He has come back to run this event. A lot of people coming out to run this event, and you can join them if you got iRacing. THEOCRL.com.
As he takes green flag. Now he went into the turn on the bottom there. He's coming through turns 1 and 2 here on the bottom, right next to that apron line down there. Kirby set the fastest practice time of all with a 29:073. So that's lickety split around Atlanta Motor Speedway. Through turns 3 and 4, he'll be heading towards that start-finish line here just shortly.
Yeah, he looks really good, really good. 29.140. Guess what? He plays spoiler. He wins the pole.
All right, the 20 car. Mike Kirby on the pole. So Dakota Ehrman, he's going to have to settle for that 3rd row back here, guys. He'll be in that number 07 machine here when we get the race started. And then, of course, the other ETV Live celebrity, Michael Keaton, opting to start in the back. He'll be starting dead last tonight on the grid. So it is set, and we are ready to roll here at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Like we said, should be a very, very entertaining race. And a lot of the key factors, we've said it before, I'll say it again. Turn number 2 is going to be very interesting. Restarts, see if anyone spins the tires on the restarts. And ultimately, tires. Anytime there's a caution, a lot of these guys will be coming in to get 4 fresh Goodyears.
All right, and I'll tell you what, with qualifying over here, Sean, I'll tell you what, 25 drivers going to take the field here tonight. And it could be anybody's game here. But I tell you, Mike Kirby looking awfully good out there on his qualifying run, as well as Dylan Cece. Of course, these top 4 guys up here, from about Scott Ickx up, you might as well throw Jason Gaines in there as well, say the top 5. So that might be the class of the field here tonight. Awesome looking qualifying runs here. Now we're going to see some different styles of driving here. Atlanta Motor Speedway, a very fast track, and it really doesn't matter which lane you choose. One really isn't any better than the other when it comes to driving Atlanta. You can stay on the gas just a little bit longer on the top lane up there. The bottom lane down there on the near the apron line, you got to get off the gas just a little bit sooner, let the car rotate around just a little bit better. It's going to be a little flatter there on the bottom towards the apron line. But that upper lane up there, of course, you got that wall. Talking about the push coming off the turns, that wall comes up really, really quick. And if you're running that top line, you're only a few inches away from it when you come off turns 2 and turn 4. So in turn 4 especially, it's almost like a slingshot action when you come off that turn. You guys, you roll around, you're heading down that front stretch, and you're going to approach speeds of almost 200 miles an hour.
Yeah, this is going to be some great stuff. The competition is very close here at Atlanta, and you're right. Top bottom, it doesn't really matter. The speed is awesome, and it's going to make for an awesome show tonight for sure.
You bet. Why don't we go ahead and step away? We're going to take a real quick commercial break. When we come back, we should be close to getting this thing rolling and the Cactus Cuties for our national anthem. But right now, we're going to go ahead and step away. Don't wander off. We'll be right back.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Gentlemen, start your engines!
All right, and welcome back to Atlanta Motor Speedway here, guys, and thank you very much to the Cactus Cuties for that wonderful presentation of the national anthem. I'll turn it over to David Damboys and Sean Peaches for the lineup.
All right, everybody. Well, we're about ready to go green flag racing here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. But before we do that, let's just rehash how qualifying went down. On pole position, the number 20 of Mike Kirby. Starting second, the number 32 of Dylan Cece. Third, the number 4 of Eric Mickey. Fourth, Scott Hicks. Fifth, and the number 5 will be Jason Gaines. Sixth place in the 07 car, and acting very much like a Danica Patrick, Dakota Ehrman, our very own here at ETV Live. Starting 7th place in the number 36, Mike Husby. 8th, the number 99 of C. Thomas Morris Jr., who sat on pole position for provisional pole position for so long. And starting 9th will be Julian Mador, and 10th place, the number 38 of Shannon Siegler.
11th is Brian Bliss. 12th will be Matt Kingston. Jake Finch and Jeff Backey Jr., JRM teammates, find themselves in row number 7. Chris Sweat, Connor Fay, 15th and 16th. Christopher Munger and Stephen Cox, 17th and 18th. Timothy Sullivan and Patrick O'Toole, 19th and 20th. Alex Boffley, 21st. Michael Enos, 22nd. Sean Sadler, 23rd. Todd Smith, 24th. Michael Keaton, ETV Live as well, 25th. And the rest of the field, John Dragonetti, Christopher Austin, Thomas Dukes, Braden Oakley, Cody McCorkle, and Jeffrey Mays.
So here we go as the cars now going through the 1 and 2 complex. Should be one lap, one pace lap before we go green.
Yeah, should be a very exciting one. Once again, these guys need to keep in mind it's 175 laps, only 20 laps shorter than the actual Nationwide Series race here. So a lot of these guys need to realize that it is a very long race, and they got to play it conservatively. Just give up the spot early on, and you'll get it back.
Yeah, these long nationwide races, or any NASCAR race really, is all about survival as they come through turn number 3.
Yeah, here we go for the start of the OCRL, second time at Atlanta this season.
As Mike Kirby now pacing the cars out of turn 4. The pace car now ducks off, and we are now green as Kirby jumps out to a nice start there.
Yeah, Kirby gets a really, really nice start as we are green here at Atlanta.
Cars fan out now as they head into turn 1. Kirby keeping that nice cushion and pulling about 4 or 5 car lengths now on second place.
That would be Dylan Cece, as now he's feeling pressure from the number 4 of Eric Mickey.
Yeah, real tight racing there as Mickey got right alongside. It looked like he might get into CC's corner there, but he was able to hold it as they now complete lap 1. Kirby will be shown the leader by a comfortable margin.
Very, very interesting battle for second here early on here at Atlanta. Mickey got the bottom lane. CC not giving it up quickly, as behind them, Jason Gaines falls into the 4th spot.
The top 5 cars so far have really been able to kind of separate out, and it looks like we've had a problem with Dakota Ehrman as he has, as it's showing he's having some connectivity issues actually.
Oh, that is not good. That is not a very good thing for the winner last week at Dover and your plaything down there.
Yeah, well, you know, at least when I was in the Indy race, I was able to finish and didn't have connectivity issues. But all kidding aside, Dakota, terrible luck there, as he now seems to get right back into it here.
Really good battle now brewing for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. CC surrenders 2nd and is now feeling pressure from both Scott Ickes and Jason Gaines as they almost take it 3 wide through the trial, but you can't really do that here. There's room for it, but not enough grip for it.
Oh, indeed, and discretion the better part of valor there as they back off and take the fight onto the back straightaway. Kirby still leading it.
Yeah, absolutely, as if you shift further back, we've got Mike Husby running in the 6th spot as that battle continues. Those top 5 have kind of broken away, but not all the way out of reach. That 6th spot, about 5 or 10 car lanes back. But the real battle here is for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. But Jason Gaines looks like he's falling back just a tad through 1 and 2, back to Mike Husby in 6th.
Looks like we're going to have a pass here back in mid-pack as cars jostling around. Battle for around for 15th and 16th. A lot of the cars mostly single file out here. People looking racy out of the corners and able to make passes. So far, clean racing and a great start here at this Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Tell you what, Cox and Julian Mador having one heck of a battle now for the 12th and 11th spot. Julian's going to go ahead and boat it and just let it go. Christopher Munger taking the opportunity. He's going to go ahead and go by Julian Mador there.
Now, David,
Michael Keaton picking up a couple of spots here too, guys. Remember, he started in the back of the pack here tonight on purpose. That was a scuttlebutt coming out of the garage earlier. But Michael Keaton back here in 22nd position, now 21st position, picking them up.
Now they're about 7 laps deep into their tires. The new's definitely off the tires. And these guys are going to have to start pedaling it around here. It's going to be a little bit tougher. The car might not be as fast as it once was at the beginning of the run. These tires here at Atlanta will definitely start degrading a lot sooner than other tracks. And we've got a car in the wall, and it is the number 51 of Julian Medor.
Tough break for Julian after a good qualifying session there. Promising stuff out of the young driver, and he's just kind of put it on the wall. It looks like he's back going though, but we'll have to wait and see what kind of damage, if any, was sustained.
We were just talking about him. He was running in the 12th spot. He drops down to 20th. But tough break, but it's still a long way to go here in Atlanta. We haven't even hit 10 laps in yet, so he's got some time to go get that Furniture Row Chevrolet repaired.
Guys, it was back here on lap 7. He comes off of turn 2 and just gets a little bit squirrely, tags the wall in turn 2, and just can't get the handling back, going all the way down the backstretch, and of course gets up into that wall in turns 3 and 4, and that that wall magnet comes out. You're pretty much stuck there. He slows down, waits for all the traffic to go past him. So he's got a pretty good scrape on the side of that car, but still facing forward. Got all 4 tires on the ground.
Yeah, an interesting part that JD there. While we were looking at Julian's incident.
Oh,
there,
rack on the backstretch! Rack on the backstretch! That looks to be the number 30. I can't make out what number it is. There's no caution. The number 38 into the wall caused a little bit of a hectic situation for the drivers running around 10th or 11th. It was quite a scary accident just about half a lap ago on the back straightaway. No caution. We're still running.
Guys, that's going to be the same thing as the last one. It's going to be right here on lap 10. Shannon Siegler at 38 machine in 7th position. Tags the wall, gets out of shape, coming off of turn 2, but he's got a couple of cars. I didn't catch who that was next to him, but I tell you what, able to hang on to it. No caution, like you said, but the 38 car in big trouble.
Just had a pass for 5th. Dylan Cece fading here as the tires break in. Mike Husby goes by him for the 5th spot.
And while this action's been carrying on and cars going into the wall and all kinds of madness, we actually did have a pass for the lead. Eric Mickey getting around Mike Kirby. Those two still running pretty close together as they've broken away from 3rd place Scott Hicks.
Yeah, those two have opened up quite a big lead. They've opened up a 1.5 second lead over Scott Ickes, and Jason Gaines is only about half a second behind him.
Ickes, my fault. Yes, Ickes, please.
Yeah, it's
shoot me.
Ickes or Ikes. I'm not sure. He hasn't corrected me on it. You should definitely let me know. How do you pronounce your last name?
Exactly. Until I have further clarification, I will just say whatever you say.
All right, Ickes. As the top 7 has strung out here early on here at Atlanta. Very, very exciting stuff here. And then the battles seem to be happening further back in the field.
Michael Keaton picks up a couple of more positions, guys. Now move him up to the 19th position in that 15 Home Depot machine. So ETV Live's own Michael Keaton starting from the back of the field here tonight. I believe it was 25th position, up 6 so far, guys, here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. But I tell you what, he's appeared to be off pace. Don't know if this is part of the plan or not. Quite a bit of distance between him and Brian Bliss up here in 18th position. So Michael Keaton certainly putting his plan together, but everybody in front of him, from about Alex Lafoli on forward, you guys single file running up here. 15 laps in the books here at Atlanta Motor Speedway with the ORCL.
OCRL.
OCRL. Oh, yeah, you got it.
Yeah. As we look, a battle for 11th has brewed. Stephen Cox and Christopher Munger, those two going at it. Stephen might want to just let it go. Christopher Munger has been known to flex his muscle every now and then, but he gets by him no issue. Move Chris up to 11th.
Yeah, while the front is kind of breaking away, we do have some great action.
Oh,
it looks
car
like
in
a
the
car.
wall, and it's number 23, the Grind Boss Clean Machine of Chris Sweat. He keeps it motoring, but you gotta wonder, and now I'm starting to feel the heat. That's both my cars getting in the wall. That's not good early.
Yeah, and the open wheel, this reminds me of when we had, who was it? We had one of the drivers was actually a team owner and was in the color commentary booth, and his cars were shattering all over the place. It was always a woeful situation when his cars were on track, because they usually ended up in a shower of carbon fiber.
Well, you know what? These cars don't have carbon fiber, so I got that going for me. No,
All right, that's a plus.
I'm serious. Chris and Julian have been known as second half runners. They'll rebound from these early adversity. There's still a long way to go, and there's still a long way to get there.
Yeah,
watching these guys get around the track, Sean and David, talking about the different lanes, the lane choice here at Atlanta, the bottom lane and the top lane. Watching Jason Gaines here, 4th position, guys.
Just had a crash, actually.
Car.
Oh, Husby!
Oh.
He is slow on the inside of the... Oh, and he is going to lose it. He's in the grass. Mike Husby, the number 36, spins it onto pit road. Caution is out.
And we also had the number 23 of Chris Sweat as well in the back straightaway lose it and put the front end of that car into the wall. Hard impact. So some serious damage on that car as well.
Husby having not the greatest night so far, loses it. Doesn't look like he got any sort of damage, but the number 6 man in the race so far looked to have lost it coming off of turn number 4, tried to hang on to it, and just couldn't hang on to it.
He gets down in no man's land down there. That's that little area on the other side of that white line. And I'll tell you, that's dangerous territory down there. The track surface changes drastically from the racetrack up there above that white line. So trying to hang on to that machine, Mike Husby takes it through the grass, as you can see on the ETV Live E-Wine machine there, and kind of no harm, no foul. Misses just about everything going through the grass. So it'll be 4 new tires and a bucket of oats for that 36 car, and they roll down pit road.
Here come pit stops, and like we said earlier, everyone's going to be coming down from fresh 4 Goodyears.
And watching that replay of that accident just a second ago, wow, talk about luck sliding through and not hitting a single thing, but oh so close to those inside barriers.
A couple guys staying out trying to get the free pass or the lucky dog. Not sure who is eligible for the lucky dog on this caution. It's the 07, actually. Dakota Ehrman going to be able to get the lucky dog, so that must make you happy there, Sean.
We'll see what happens. He's still got 3 laps to make up, but a couple more cautions and he could be right back into it. And man, wouldn't it be a story if somehow he was able to make 4 laps up to come back and actually challenge. He certainly has a fast car, and I was talking to him earlier in the week, certainly happy with his team, and he thinks that they've got a really, really good chance to do something special. Terrible luck, though, for Dakota and his electrical issue early on, so let's see what happens. Still plenty of time, as we're only working lap 20 of 175 yet.
Yeah, lap 21.
Mike Kirby's going to pick up the fastest pit time down there, guys. 10.2 seconds for 4 tires and fuel for that number 20 machine. Pit stops on our way here. Why don't we go ahead and step away? We'll take another commercial break here. You're watching live, ETV Live, Cowboy. There is no other choice, so don't wander off. We'll be right back. are back live at Atlanta Motor Speedway, and just checking the with the crew chiefs down around pit road, guys. Cody McCorkle missed his pit first time by, so he's going to have to come down one more time here and finish out. But he did get finished there the first time. So Cody McCorkle missing the pit. He's going to have to restart back in the back somewhere. But I'll tell you what, guys, Michael Keaton with a 5.4 second pit stop. Looks to be a two-tire change for that number 15 car. Don't know how that's going to play out here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. In the past, we've always seen guys take 4 tires no matter what down here on pit road anytime they can get them. So working off the first caution here, guys. Let's take it back over to David and Sean.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we are just ready to go. Ford Mustang pace car pails down, and we are back under green here in Atlanta.
Yeah, as we watch the cars now 2 by 2, it looks like Kirby got another great start there as he's pulling away a little bit there over the number 5 Jason Gaines car, starting to move single file, still racy as they climb up the speed here at Atlanta.
Tell you what, that front 5 didn't really get all that good of a start. They weren't able to pull away like they were originally on the initial start, but it looks like everyone behind Scott Ickes, there's a little bit of a gap there.
Tis a little bit of a gap, and now we've got Jason Gaines going to the inside of Mike Kirby there, so great run, and Kirby gives up that position with no effort whatsoever, and now it looks like he's going to lose it again to Eric Mickey, as they run side by side down the back straightaway. Let's see what he's got going into 3.
Yeah, Dylan Cece trying for that second spot. That would be the second spot. Mickey now trying to get that third spot. Looks like Kirby is struggling here on short runs.
Yeah, that car is all kinds of out of control as Kirby in that number 20 car sliding up into the high line and letting these other cars go around on the inside. Not sure if there is a issue with that car or not, but as he moves the high line there in 3 and 4, that's going to allow yet another car. Looks like the 8 car. Ooh, nope, not going to make it happen, but he's certainly got that run on Mike Kirby. So issues for that number 20 car for sure.
Tell you what, that number 06, the 8th place driver of Connor Fay, has had some struggles. And oh, Jake Finch off of the wall on the back straightaway. He keeps it straight, but he nails the outside retaining wall. He's going to lose a ton of positions here. You got to wonder if it was a case of him getting loose off of the corner again, but he nails the outside wall.
Yeah, as you called
up. Go ahead, Sean.
Oh no, just as you called out, David, early on, coming off of turn 2, that's going to be the travel trouble spot, and a lot of people getting caught out with that back straightaway wall or losing grip coming off of turn number 2. So kudos on that, because it is certainly an issue.
We got a good battle for second happening. Dylan Cece and Eric Mickey, and now it looks like Mike Kirby's car has come to life. He's joining into that battle now too.
You know, going back to the 88 car here, guys, Jake Finch back here on lap 27. He comes off of turn 2, and like we've been seeing all night, gets a little wiggle, comes out getting a little bit loose, but able to keep it on the ground. No souvenir for him tonight. Keeps it off the wall and just jumps off the throttle just like you're supposed to. Stay off the brake, just let it roll, get it under control, and then get back on the throttle. That's exactly what he did. The 80 car. Jake Finch going backwards here just a little bit, but looking pretty good now.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of the cars here have kind of fanned out into single file land, so it doesn't look like as these tires are starting to lose their brand new feeling.
The closest battle right now is in 9th and 10th, as I hear another car hitting the wall. Didn't see a number on that, but 9th and 10th. The 99 of Thomas Morris and the 06 of Connor Fay. Mike Husby's right behind him, and Jake Finch. So Jake Finch apparently doing all right after having that scare earlier.
Indeed, it looks like perhaps Finch just getting a little bit out of whack there into the restart, as you know those can be awfully stressful times. But he's gotten it back under control and is setting at a good pace here. See if he can't get around some more cars and back up to that position where he was just a few laps ago.
Gaines still leads. followed by Eric, Mickey, Mike Kirby, Dylan Cece, and Jeff Baggy Jr. in the top 5. You're not missing anything as we go through the field here. Trying to find you something entertaining. There we go. What about the number 33, Stephen Cox, in 8th place, but there is a caution. Caution is out. Can't seem to figure out why. 24, we're hearing. That would be, I believe, Brian Bliss. Yes, it is.
Good, guys. It's going to be a 24 car right here on lap 31, coming off of, looks like turn 4. He's side by side with the 80, tangles with that apron line down there, just like we saw before, gets across the grass, and it's over with. You put 2 wheels on the grass, and it's like going ice skating, and he tags the inside wall right at the end of pit road, and does heavy damage to the back end of that number 24 machine. You can see it pulled up here on the ETV instant replay machine here. We call it the E-Wind. He's coming down the backstretch, and you'll see him tag the apron line down here, get it out of shape, take it for a spin through the grass, and tag that inside wall right down there at the end of pit road. So, like I said, heavy damage to the back end of that 24 car.
Absolutely a hard hit for that team, and gotta wonder if they'll come back out. It looks like he's still rolling, so he might be able to get a damage repaired and be able to make a run for it. Pit stops again! Like we said, everyone's going to be coming down almost every time, so here comes the field.
And keeping an eye on the 15 car. Remember last time out was a 2-tire change for that Home Depot machine. Going to keep an eye on Keaton, see what he does this time. If it's 2 tires, I'm opting for probably going to be right or left sides this time. As the right side of his car comes up, so it'll be certainly right sides for that 15 car.
4 tires.
4-tire change for the 15 car this time around. So apparently the 2-tire change last time out did not fare so well. Connor Fay in the 06 machine, though, looks like a 2-tire change for him, so he's taking another risk. Perhaps he needs to talk to... actually, no, I take that back. Looks like Connor Fay is going to take 4 tires. It was Jake Finch, who apparently looks like a 5.8 pit stop. That's a good indication of a 2-tire change there. So apparently he hasn't spoken to Michael Keaton's crew chief yet either.
Well, as you remember, Jake Finch was the one who had the scare earlier on in the run before the caution, so I'm going to have to see if that was the right decision or not.
Certainly somebody who probably didn't want to see the caution flag was that 20 machine of Mike Kirby. As we saw last restart, he got absolutely massacred and passed by quite a few cars before that car finally came back to life. So be interesting to see how that 20 machine fares once we go back green flag racing.
Yeah, you're gonna wonder if that car is just not really good on short runs. Maybe the setup's set up for longer runs, but maybe he'll get it going.
And let's go ahead and do some on-air plugs here while we got the chance. These guys get it all sorted out down there on the track. How about OpenPaddock.net? Let's talk about them boys here for just a minute. If you enjoy IndyCar racing, then join Sean Peachin and Company with Open Paddock Live every Tuesday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Catch Sean and the boys for Motorsports in Brief, eyes on IndyCar results, and don't miss the Mazda Road to Indy updates. I'll tell you what, they've been talking about these lightweight. Well, I'll let Sean talk about it here in a minute. But I'll tell you what, it's all live on ETV Live Tuesday nights, also on the ETV Live radio at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. So if you're not doing nothing, if you enjoy the open wheel racing like I do, tune in Tuesday nights 9:30. Sean, tell us about those Indy lights here for just a moment. What's the difference between those and, say, a regular Indy open wheel car?
Oh yeah, we have obviously the Indy Lights, which is our IndyCar feeder series. The car is the older Dallara chassis that doesn't really transition over as well as they would like, and with the new DW12 they want to get a new car out there that is all part of the Mazda Road to Indy program, and they've now entertaining some tenders from various companies. I believe Swift Engineering, as well as a Dyson-led group from Dyson, the Dyson Le Mans Series efforts. So, you know, kind of looking around, shopping around for new chassis and trying to get something close that's fast, sexy, and also transitions well, so that we can continue to utilize this ladder series and get drivers churned out for IndyCar. So interesting to see what happens, and it'll be interesting to see who wins the contract.
You bet. And I'll tell you what, more on that every Tuesday night right here live on ETV Live. Like I said, join Sean and the boys, Jay Douglas Patterson, Mike Whitesell, and the whole crew. And I'll tell you, very interesting show. It's by the fans, for the fans. It's raw, it's uncensored, and it's good. So if you're not doing nothing on Tuesday nights at 9:30, well, tune in with us. Let's turn it over to David and Sean. The pace car bringing them down through turn 4 here, I believe, guys. The lights are out, so we should get back to racing here just momentarily.
Yep. Cody
Yeah.
McCorkle, he stayed out, and he will be your leader here on this upcoming restart. He chooses the high line. I don't know if Cody made the right decision here, choosing to stay out. So we'll have to see if that was the right decision. Ford Mustang pace car coming on in. Here we go. Restart number 2 here at Atlanta.
Yeah, cars 2x2 now as they come across a little bit of a logjam there on the start, trying to get a little separation, but the cars aren't going to get it as McCorkle takes the lead into turn number 1.
Dylan Ceesay looking right by, and it looks like McCorkle's going to do the right thing. He's going to move out of the way and give Dylan Ceesay and Jason Gaines the spots there for first and second as McCorkle drops down to third.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, Dave, that number 5 of Jason Gaines, he's on these short runs, he's really looking like the car to beat as he gets yet another good start and is already looking to apply pressure to Ceesay here.
Absolutely, he's already looking there. He's looking inside, and it'll be a battle for the lead as they go through 1 and 2.
Yeah, looking like Gaines pulling right up on the back in there of Ceesay. He's going to get the run down the back straightaway. Let's see if he can make it happen in turn 3. Yes, it looks like Gaines is going to take the position and reassume the lead after the restart.
He will indeed. Jason Gaines back to the top spot here at Atlanta, but Ceesay's not going to give it up quickly. He's right on the back bumper of that Spy Optic Chevrolet as they go through 1 and 2 again. And now, don't forget Eric Mickey. He's inching his way into this battle.
Yeah, Mickey's been looking solid all night, running in the top 5. He says, you know what, you guys want to play around? I'd like to come up and join you. So these top 3 have kind of broke a little bit, maybe about 5 cars, call it 4.5 away from Mike Kirby and the 20 machine, as we are now working lap number 40 here at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
By the way, for those wondering, on the caution, Dakota Airman got the lucky dog again. He is now only 2 laps down, so he's halfway there, John. He's halfway there. As Matt Kingston gets loose coming off the corner and is going to give up a couple spots there to Stephen Cox and Scott Ickes. That was for 7th.
Going back to Dakota Erman here just a moment ago, coming off of turn 4, guys, had a little bit of a wiggle, was side by side with that 15 car of Michael Keaton up in front of him there in 20th position. But Dakota Erman back here in 27th position, 27th position, there's a mouthful, fighting back after some electrical problems here in that 07 machine. Was 4 down, then 3, now 2. So we're hoping for a couple of more cautions here at Atlanta, so he can get back out on that lead lap and contend with these guys.
Yeah, Dakota looking real strong and real interesting to see him and Michael Keaton running next to each other. I could only imagine if, God forbid, something was to happen and one of those cars snap loose, what would happen on the next race broadcast. But yeah, it's Dakota's car looking like it's really hooked up as he's moved around Keaton now, is continuing to go forward.
And imagine if he were on the lead lap. Imagine how good that car would be on the lead lap.
Oh yeah, he would definitely be working well and working in the top 5, if not battling for the lead. So again, terrible break for Dakota. And as much as I want to make fun of him for it, I can't, because it's, it wasn't anything that he did necessarily. But he's doing a fantastic job here tonight, working through the adversity and trying to get those laps back.
Just looking back further on the field, 14th, there was a pass for 14th just a minute ago. Mike Husby, after that little escapade through the grass earlier, he's recovered well. He's 14th, and it looks like he's making a run on Connor Fay for 13th.
Yeah, great stuff here mid-pack. Lots of cars side by side. Tires are starting to wear in and set in here. Not as new as they once were, but the racing around the mid-pack is just great stuff. As we're going 2x2, cars swerving all over the back end of the car in front, trying to make up these positions.
Stephen Cox and Dylan Cece have a good battle going for 5th. In front of them, there's even a good battle going for 4th.
Yeah, so great stuff all around the speedway after this restart. So these cars really racing hard with each other, and we've got a car spinning.
Oh, Stephen Cox, hard in the inside wall. That's gonna bring out a caution. Everyone, get out of the way. Ooh.
I'd like to go back and watch again. I don't know, was there any help on that?
It didn't look like it. I was watching it live, and it looked as if he got arrow loose. He got some help. Driver behind him, right on the back bumper. It'll take the air right off the spoiler, and it just got him arrow loose and just looped it around turn number 2. We were saying that turn 2 was the problem corner. Even by themselves, drivers were losing it, but now with the fact that you had a car right behind you, right on that back spoiler, it makes it even looser.
And that's exactly what happened, guys. Got it pulled up here on the E-Wine machine. You watch it happen there right on the screen as the 32 car gets tucked right under the bumper, right underneath the wing coming off that 33 car right in front of them. That's going to lift the back end of that car coming off the ground here just a little bit, takes the pressure off the tires. Around he goes, hard tag to the inside wall. We call that a big souvenir here on ETV Live. 3rd caution here at Atlanta, guys.
We aren't even lap 50 yet.
Yeah, lots of cars seem to be coming off that second corner and getting loose, or cars coming off at turn 4 and getting a little loose and getting in the grass. And I'm telling you what, guys, with these cars going up into the grass and catching those bumps or hitting the wall and going airborne, it looks almost more like a rallycross race anymore than a NASCAR race with some of the airtime these Impalas are getting.
Where's Travis Pastrana? Where's his Dodge Dart?
Yeah, right.
Just about.
Exactly.
You know, a lot of these guys are looping it off of 4, or looping it off of 2, or nailing the wall off of 2, or nailing the wall off of 4. It's the problem area at a lot of these mile-and-a-half tracks, especially here at Atlanta, because you're carrying so much speed. It's one of the fastest tracks any NASCAR-type series goes to. So as the pit stops go on here under the caution.
5.9 second stop for Scott Hicks. I tell you what, these guys, big gamble on a 2-tire change for that number 17 machine. So working 3rd caution here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Let's go ahead and step away. We'll take a commercial break. You're watching it live, Cowboy, ETV Live, and this is the OC. Let me get this right. The OCRL.
OCRL.
At Atlanta. OCRL at Atlanta. Don't wander off. We'll be back. Hey, JD here with ETV Live, and let me tell you something. If it's too big for the pickup truck and you need to move it, there's only one trucking company you need to call, and don't bother with the Yellow Pages, Cowboy. I'll give you that number in a minute. Manufactured goods, automotive, technical equipment, furniture, even if you need a reefer, Gary Mercer Trucking Incorporated is the only choice, Cowboy. With locations in Mississauga, Ontario, Canada, Rancho Cucamonga, California, if you need to move it, store it, and keep it cold, you need to call Gary Mercer Trucking Incorporated. Long haul, short haul, or just across town, Gary Mercer has the best trained and qualified drivers to get your load from point A to point B with professionalism and on time. So remember, Hoss, if it don't fit in a pickup truck, you're going to need a real truck, Cowboy. Sponsors of ETV Live's Friday Night Showdown, Gary Mercer Trucking Incorporated, 1-800-668-2980. All right, we are back live here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. If we could put a microphone back here in the back during the commercial breaks, I don't know, that's kind of X-rated, R-rated stuff for later on. But I tell you what, back in the saddle again here, working the third caution here. Came out here about lap 45 or so, 33 car involved in that one, big hit on the inside wall. But getting ready for the restart here, and let's take it back up to David and Sean for more action here at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Christopher Austin Thomas Dukes looks like he decided to gamble here. He has not come in for a pit stop. He will be the restart, or he will be the leader on the restart, I should say. Scott Ickes is second, Eric Mickey third, or Jason Gaines third, Eric Mickey fourth, and Jeff Backey Jr. in fifth, as Dylan Cece sixth, Jake Finch 7th, Matt Kingston 8th, Todd Smith 9th, and Christopher Munger 10th. As that's the top 10 as we come here for the restart once again here in Atlanta. Let's get a green flag run in. What do you say?
Yeah, let's see what we could do as the pace car comes off, and Thomas Dukes pacing him down, gets a good start, get the normal accordion effect, but it looks like everybody's underway as we go back to green flag racing. Call it lap number 50.
Absolutely, lap 50, as they look like they're going to start. Yes, they will go right underneath Christopher Austin Thomas Dukes and get right out of the way. Ickes, Gaines, Eric Mickey, they are all going to pass him coming into turn number 3.
Yeah, dangerous moment there for Thomas Dukes, though, as he goes to move out of the way. He had a nice bobble heading into turn 3. So, yeah, we got cars spreading all over the place back in about 6th place.
Oh, we're 3 wide, and Christopher Munger is in the grass. Christopher Munger is in the grass. He keeps it off the wall, the number 55, but he keeps it moving, no caution. But we've got 3 wide and all sorts of calamity happening here in the back.
Yeah, trouble up in front of him too as well, guys. Up there in the number 16, Todd Smith, he gets a big bobble, almost connecting with the 31 car, but then take it back a couple of notches, and that's going to be the 55 machine of Christopher Munger. He's coming off of turn 3 here, turn 4. He sees what's going on up there in the front, and I think what had him upset there was the 16 machine up in front of him. Saw that bobble, getting off the throttle here a little bit. Not sure what that 16 car was going to do, and goes for a little bit of a ride through the grass. Almost getting sideways, but able to hang on to it.
Absolutely. I thought he had it lost when he was going through the grass, but he kept it straight. Didn't get into the pit road, so he didn't get a black flag for illegal pit entry and kept it going. As we move forward here, looks like there is a good battle happening for 9th. As Christopher Austin Thomas Dukes is going to continue to lose spots here. And he's got to be wondering what kind of decision that was to just stay out and run with those really worn out tires, as now he's about to lose another spot. And here comes Husby and Sigler.
Well, Dave, really, I mean, we've seen it all night with the few restarts that we have had. The guy who opts to take the chance, whether it be 2 tires, no tires, it's never worked out well for them, and the rest of the field usually makes quick work of that car.
All we gotta say is just look at the Sprint Cup race that happened here at Atlanta earlier on in the week. That race had everyone coming in for 4 tires. And a lot of these team owners, me included, are not looking forward to the tire bill that I'll be paying this week. It is not going to be a small figure.
Indeed. Well, let's take a look back at our ETV Live drivers. The number 15, Michael Keaton, currently running 20th place. Cool 6 seconds off the lead. Doing work back there. And then Dakota Ehrman in the 07 car. 26th and only 1 lap down. So, he is in the catbird seat as far as getting that lap back and getting back on the lead lap. And David, I have to tell you, just from what we've seen out of Dakota thus far, if he gets back on that lead lap, that car is really good, and he is going to be a factor before it is all said and done.
Did you call this one? Have you seen this one already? You were the one who was telling me, hey, he could contend if he gets back on the lead lap. He's 1 away from being back on the lead lap, so I know he's rooting for a short run here.
Yeah, well, as much trash as we like to spread, I certainly wish the best for Dakota in his run. I wish he would give me a reason, but now that he's back in this thing and running real well, I hope that he does as well as he can, and is at least at the front. So let's take it back to 11th place. And was it Connor Fay under attack?
Shannon Sigler just got by Connor Fay for the 11th spot. Just happened right before he just finished the pass right before we got to it. But right behind Shannon Sigler now, it looks like he's about to give up that spot, that 12th spot, to Alex Boffley.
Yeah, so more great racing here, mid-pack at Atlanta Motor Speedway. So this stuff very exciting. These cars really working well to put out a good show, as we see a lot of passes for position, and not just senseless passes. These passes are meaningful, and they are making them stick and holding on to them for some time. So great stuff here at Atlanta.
Just a couple cars ahead of that, Mike Husby is under attack by Mike Kirby. So the battle of the Mikes there. Mike Kirby will take the 9th spot, as now Shannon Sigler's jumping onto that Elliott's Collision Service Chevrolet.
Guys back here in the back, about 22nd position, the 55 machine of Christopher Munger. Remember having that problem here just a little bit ago, trying to work it back here. Had a couple of cars out in front of him. Enos was one of them, but the 55 car looking to get back what he lost. Christopher Munger trying to go forward here a little bit.
As the car in front of him, that looks to be the number 80 of John Dragonetti, just nailed the outside wall. He looks to be okay, just keeps it going. But the outside wall, I should say, not the inside. As now Munger is looking to get by him. He's on the inside. I think Dragonetti is just going to go ahead and say, here you go, mercy, and is going to let him go by.
And I'll tell you what, one of the cars we had just seen in there, yeah, it was, the number 80 car. He had quite a moment there coming off of turn 2.
Yeah, he did. That he did. I think he even got the wall.
I think we got a little bit of everything here tonight. We got the best of stock car racing with door-to-door action. We got a little rallycross as cars shoot through the grass, and we also got a little Formula Drift, as these guys are really coming sideways off of some of these corners, and it is all they can do to keep that thing going in a straight trajectory.
Well, I was asking for Travis Pastrana earlier. Now where's Fawn Gittin Jr.?
yeah, right.
You gotta wonder, where are these guys, and how are they able to hang on to these cars? Moving forward, the 14th spot, that's Connor Fay losing some spots again. He will lose 14th to, that would be Sean Sadler in the number 10 car. And now Thomas Morris looking to get under him for that spot. Good little battle brewing right there as they come down the front straightaway dogleg and hitting nearly 185 miles an hour. Those speeds will drop as the run goes on, obviously. The lap times will drop almost full 2 seconds here. The tires, the surface is like a cheese grater to these tires. It will just tear up tires.
Yeah, you really got to think when you're taking these heavy nationwide stock cars into a high-speed corner, carrying upwards of 190 miles an hour in a corner and putting all that weight on the right side. This surface, just like an absolute belt sander to these tires, just taking away all of that grip, and that's where we're seeing that huge drop-off in time by, like you said, about 2 seconds as the run goes on.
We have a new leader, and it's the number 4 NRA Chevrolet of Eric Mickey. He made the pass just a few moments ago, and now he has taken the lead over Jason Gaines. They have opened up to quite a big lead.
Yeah, so far some great action.
Great battle for third. Great battle for third with Dylan Cece and Jeff Backey Jr. Fun fact, there's some contact. Backey keeps it together, but fun fact about those two is that both of them were teammates at the beginning of the season. Then Dylan Cece was released from his JRM contract and has returned to the OCRL as a member of rival Pinnacle Racing.
That's always got to be interesting, and it'll be funny to see what kind of talk they have about that, because Backey got right on the back of Cece's car, and it was almost disastrous for him.
Well, with these nationwide cars, you're not sure if you're clear until you're clear. You know what I mean? It's very tough to know when your car ends and when the other car begins.
Precisely, and we actually had a moment there for our second place car, the number 5 of Jason Gaines, actually sideways there, coming out. I believe it was down the back straightaway about half a lap ago. He was coming off onto the back straight a little sideways as well. So all these cars kind of having a little bit of an issue with some handling as the drivers gingerly work the throttle to try and keep them pointed in the right direction.
Single file all through the top 10. The closest battle really right now is for the 8th spot. It looks to be, that would be Matt Kingston, I believe, with Mike Husby over there for 8th.
Yeah, more phenomenal fighting back here in the mid-pack. Great racing all around the top 10 and even outside it. So we've got a lot of cars pretty close together, actually. So good stuff.
Very, very loose off of Kingston. Husby had to duck down low, and now that's going to open up the spot for Husby as he is now on the inside of him as they go through 3 and 4. A very good battle here. Husby, after the spin through the grass, will move up to the 8th spot.
Good stuff there, good driving, good pass. I mean, just textbook stuff. And I can see what you're saying about this league. These guys, very respectful and great racing all around this track. So very impressive stuff. Be sure you are catching it here live on ETV Live and the action coming to you via the ETV Live radios. So I think this is going to be something I'm going to be tuning into just a bit more regularly, honestly.
Absolutely, absolutely. A very, very good run. A very good run for this league here. Very exciting action.
I'll tell you what, guys, ETV Live always pushing the bar, setting the standard for everybody else to rise up to. And a caution is out on a track. Let's go back up to the booth with David and Sean.
Can't see what it's for. Now I do. That was Michael Enos, the number 75. He nailed the outside wall, and it was smoking black. And that's not what you want here. The caution is out. I believe that's the 4th one here today.
And guys, got to roll back up here on the E-Wine machine here. It's going to be the 75 car coming through turns 3 and 4 here. Tangles with that apron line. Gets down into no man's land down there and gets completely out of shape sideways hard into the outside wall and goes for an E-ticket ride down the front stretch for all the fans. So I'll tell you what, wait for that one to come up on the E-play. There it is. Keep an eye on that 75 machine. You might want to hang on to your seat when you watch this cowboy, because when he tags that wall on the that outside wall, hang on, because he does go for a ride.
Yeah, again, that car just getting down on the apron. You cannot do that here. The change is too drastic, and yeah, that was a pounding that he took into the outside wall, just wrecking the front end of that car and going for a looks like a Tanner Faust Hot Wheels ride around the double loop there.
Yep, as with 105 laps to go, pit stops again, as always, as the leaders come on down for the pit stops. We'll follow in here with Eric Mickey. Let's see, the leader comes in. Let's see what he gets. Right sides will go up. They're servicing the right side, getting those Goodyear Eagles, putting on some fresh ones, coming to the left side. Let's see. Yes, they will get 4 tires. 4 tires for Eric Mickey. He comes out, but it looks like Jason Gaines is going to beat him off pit road. Jason Gaines, followed by Dylan Cece, Eric Mickey, Jeff Backey Jr. Actually, it looks like Backey just beat Mickey, and Mike Kirby, your top 5 off of pit road.
10.9 seconds pit stop for Jason Gaines there, guys, in that number 5 machine. So no wonder that's lickety split down there on pit road for those boys as we finish watching the E-Wine there with the 75 car. Why don't we go ahead and step away? Well, let's take another commercial break. You're watching live, ETV Live. This is the OCRL here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. So don't wander off. We'll be right back. Hey, JD here with ETV Live, and let me tell you something. If it's too big for the pickup truck and you need to move it, there's only one trucking company you need to call, and don't bother with the Yellow Pages, cowboy. I'll give you that number in a minute. Manufactured goods, automotive, technical equipment, furniture, even if you need a reefer, Gary Mercer Trucking Incorporated is the only choice, cowboy. With locations in Mississauga, Ontario, Canada, Rancho Cucamonga, California, if you need to move it, store it, and keep it cold, you need to call Gary Mercer Trucking Incorporated. Long haul, short haul, or just across town, Gary Mercer has the best trained and qualified drivers to get your load from point A to point B with professionalism and on time. So remember, Hoss, if it don't fit in a pickup truck, you're going to need a real truck, cowboy. Sponsors of ETV Live's Friday Night Showdown, Gary Mercer Trucking Incorporated, 1-800-668-2980. And we are back live here at Atlanta Motor Speedway, and I guess the big news, David, coming back here, the 07 machine back here in 24th position, able to get back on the lead lap. That's Dakota Ehrman. So the only thing he's got in front of him now are 23 other cars. So still a lot of racing left, though. 101 laps here left at Atlanta Motor Speedway, so plenty of time for him to try to get that 07 machine back up front. Quick pit times here tonight, guys. I'll tell you what, not seeing a whole lot of two-tire changes. We saw a couple. Doesn't appear that that's working out too well at all. On the restart here, Jason Gaines going to pick the flag up as we get going. Dylan Cece, Jeff Backey, Eric, Mickey, and Mike Kirby, your top five on the restart as they approach the start-finish line. And here we go, green flag racing at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Yeah, absolutely. Here we go. Green flag back out here at Atlanta for our next restart with nearly 100 laps to go, just a tick over. As now the inside line going to go past Dylan Cece. That will be for the 4th spot. Dylan Cece making a move. He's going to be blocked in here by Mike Kirby, and that's going to leave Mickey, and it opens up the spot for Mickey to challenge Kirby.
Eric Mickey running in that number 4 machine in the 4th spot here, guys. As the 20 car up on the outside, 2x2 all the way back to the 32 on the bottom, CC. And then he gets past the 20 car of Mike Kirby up here. So Kirby gets a little bit of a bobble coming off of turn 2 down the backstretch. Of course, we've been watching that bobble all night long coming off of turn 2. The trouble here on the other end of the backstretch down here in 3 and 4 has been tangling with that apron line down there. That is no man's land down there. A very hefty transition from the track, to that apron down there. When you cross that line.
Whoa! It looks like Ike has got on the back end of Husby there for about the 6th spot, and that's going to scatter the entire field. They keep it straight, but Ickes was way too close to the bumper that Elliott's could. Oh, and there's Keaton, and there goes Todd Smith. There's a wreck in turn 3 and 4.
Caution is out here at Atlanta Motor Speedway, guys, and we hear the 15 car is involved in this one. Roll it back here a little bit.
Braden Oakley was involved. Todd Smith was involved. Braden Oakley looks like he's got terminal damage on that number 7 3M Ford, or Chevrolet, my bad. As an unfortunate break for him. He was looking forward to this event.
Looks like Keaton might have tagged the bumper of the 10 machine there, right on the left rear quarter panel of that 10 car, guys, and that put the 15 car down across the apron.
Yeah, and that really all started in between the 36 and the 17. The 17 had no business driving the 36 right on the rear bumper like that, but that's what happens. Now, with only about 2 laps on their tires, it looks like not everyone's coming down pit road, and it looks like Eric Mickey in 3rd was the first guy to come on down.
You know, and I think that's isn't that the second time we've seen a 16 car get out of shape? I think that's the second time, looking back through my notes here, that we've seen that 16 machine get out of shape here just a little bit. But that is the 4th caution of the night here at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. As We have just crossed the century mark. We are less than 100 laps to go. We are on lap 79 now, as pit stops occur, and a lot of these guys, I bet you they're saying, come on, let's get a green flag run in. Come on, especially Dakota Airman. Now that he's back on the lead lap, he definitely is probably wanting that long green flag run that he oh so desperately wants now compared to what he had before.
You know, I think I was rolling back, looking at that caution one more time, guys. I think it was actually the '06 machine.
Of Connor Fay.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much what started the whole thing. Of course, you know, he's looking at his windshield. He sees that action going on with the 15 and the 10 car. 10 car gets a little bit of a bobble from Keaton back here, and I think, you know, they're getting off the throttle, making sure everything's going to be copacetic, and of course that checks up everybody behind them. And that may be what these guys were looking at coming through the turn. So I mean, you're coming down the backstretch, almost 190 miles an hour. Something happens in the turn, you just got a split second to react to it and stay out of trouble. So I'm sure that's probably what was going on.
And not only that, but these cars, it's a little hard to make impact split-second judgment moves to get out of a wreck. They're very tough to kind of maneuver out of the way. If you don't mind, JD, I would like to plug my Twitter, @NotDamnBoys. I'm reading your tweets. Go ahead and tweet me up, @NotDamnBoys, and if it's any good, I'll read it on the broadcast. And I recently had someone who was involved with one of the teams tell me about how Julian Medor in the 51 was doing. He said that they have some really big swings. They've thrown some really big swings on their number 51 car and tried to tighten it up. It was way too loose.
Tweet, huh?
Yeah, tweet.
Maybe we should hire David Damboys to operate our tweet.
Yeah, your Twitter.
Twitter. I'm sorry, Twitter.
Sounded like Vin Scully when he was trying to describe it. Did you ever see that video?
Yeah, well, you need to keep me away from that tweety stuff because I can get really carried away with that. We kind of had a discussion about that the other night, and believe me, it was late night adult entertainment at that point. So we'll stay away from that tweety stuff.
Tweet in moderation, as they say. Tweet in moderation, folks. As,
can you know you can't text and drive anymore. I wonder if you can tweet and drive.
No, you can't. No, you cannot. It's basically the same thing as the field gets jumbled up here for the restart. Here on lap 81, Jason Gaines still leads. He stayed out. Jeff Packey Jr., Dylan Cece, your third place car. Jake Finch, Christopher Munger, after that little escapade in the grass, finds himself 5th. Cody McCorkle 6th. That would be Sean Sadler 7th. Eric Mickey 8th. That would be Mike Kirby 9th, and the 38 of Shannon Sigler 10th.
You know, while we're plugging stuff here real quickly, on Monday nights at from 6 to 8 p.m. you can catch the And the Winners Motorsport Show with Wesley Atland and Michael Neff. And Wesley is he's the Fast Track Racing Series. They're at Cleveland County Speedway this weekend on Friday night. Saturday night he's at County Line Raceway in Elm City, North Carolina, and then of course back Monday for the show. But going to try to get some winners over the weekend races on the And the Winners Motorsport Show. You can catch it live on ETV Live Radio and ETV Live on the Stock Car channel every Monday night from 6 to 8 p.m. just before the real sim racing action with the Full Throttle Cup Series. Getting ready to take the green flag one more time here, Cowboy.
Yeah, here we go. Green flag back out in the air. We're back racing in Atlanta.
You bet 2x2 as the A car drops down in behind the leader, the 32 machine back here at Dylan Cece. Been hanging around up here in the top 5 pretty much the entire
he's all in the apron that time.
Dangerously close there. In fact, he was all the way across the apron down there. And I'll tell you, if you're going to do it, you got to put all 4 tires across the apron. That's going to equalize the grip on all 4. That's exactly what happened to him.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're 3-1.
car.
Sean Sadler is in the grass. Sean Sadler, the 10 car, in the grass, and he's spinning toward the pit lane. He's going to keep it off the pit lane wall. He's going to loop it by himself, and it looks, he just nails the inside wall in turn 1. No caution.
No caution, and the 10 car in big trouble here tonight at Atlanta.
Yeah, just getting word from the crew chief for the number 36 Elliott's Collision Service Chevrolet of Mike Husby, Pete Ingamanis, tweeting me, as crew chief for Husby, I can tell you the car is very good as wow, the 31 gets into the grass that time. Seems like everyone is struggling with these new tires.
You know, and that's a danger zone too. You're coming down that front stretch. If you happen to get two tires across over that grass, it's like putting out the ice skates. It will take you for an e-ticket ride for sure. We've seen that happen a couple of times here tonight already. But the 31 car, Matt Kingston, back here in 31st or in the 16th position, trying to get it back together again here.
And I tell you what, Dakota Ehrman is already sniffing the top 10. He is looking to pass Chris
Rock with the 44 car, 16 involved again back here. Caution out for the 5th time here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. It's going to be coming off of turn number 2, guys. The 44 car hard into the outside wall. Patrick O'Toole,
second man in points.
That's you bet. The second guy in the points here. The 44 car comes through turn 1 or 2 here, and just looks like he might have tagged the 66 or the 86 machine of Cody McCorkle down here on the bottom, and that sends the 44 up into the outside wall off of turn 2. Down he comes.
No place to go.
No place to go.
No place to go. I tell you what, who could benefit from this? Alex Boffoli coming into the event tonight. He was 191 points back of Jeff Baggy Jr., but he was only roughly around, to guesstimate, because I can't do the math in my head, to be quite frankly, about 45 points behind Patrick O'Toole. So we can gain on Patrick if he can keep it running. As pit stops come up again.
You bet. And, you know, I'm a big-time Mark Martin fan, and anytime he comes down pit road, the usual for him, as we watch the replay there on the ETV Live Instant E-Play machine, you know, it's going to be 4 tires and fuel for me every time, Cowboys. So haven't seen a whole lot of 2-tire changes here on pit road at Atlanta Motor Speedway here tonight, guys. I think they got the message. 4 tires and fuel for most of these guys here. A few of them had tried the 2-tire thing, but it just hasn't paid out well enough at all, David.
Well, yeah, like you said, the rare times that we've seen drivers try 2 tires, it just hasn't been beneficial enough for the risk. The risk is greater than the reward, I should say. The driver is just not able to maintain the track position. So 4 tires and getting by people on the racetrack is going to be the way that these guys are. That's the way that they're going to have to gain positions here tonight.
Eric Mickey beats everybody off pit road in that 4 machine, but down front of him, Stephen Cox, Michael Keaton, and Scott Ickes did not come down this time by. They got one more shot at it. As we work caution number 5. Let's go ahead and step away. Let's take another commercial break. You're watching live from Atlanta Motor Speedway, the OCRL here. Don't wander off. We'll be right back. JD here with ETV Live, and let me tell you something. If it's too big for the pickup truck and you need to move it, there's only one trucking company you need to call, and don't bother with the Yellow Pages, Cowboy. I'll give you that number in a minute. Manufactured goods, automotive, technical equipment, furniture, even if you need a reefer, Gary Mercer Trucking Incorporated is the only choice, Cowboy. With locations in Mississauga, Ontario, Canada, Rancho Cucamonga, California. If you need to move it, store it, and keep it cold, you need to call Gary Mercer Trucking Incorporated. Long haul, short haul, or just across town, Gary Mercer has the best trained and qualified drivers to get your load from point A to point B with professionalism and on time. So remember, Hoss, if it don't fit in a pickup truck, you're going to need a real truck cowboy. Sponsors of ETV Live's Friday Night Showdown, Gary Mercer Trucking Incorporated, 1-800-668-2980. And welcome back to Atlanta Motor Speedway. We are here with the OCRL Racing League here tonight, guys. And I tell you, 175 laps on the board. We're on lap 89 here, guys. Caution coming out here just a couple of laps to go. The 44 car, big trouble for him here tonight. But David, you got some more of that tweeter stuff going on.
Keeping it all Web 2.0 on you. Andrew Hayes, the crew chief for Julian Medor, has said that Julian's car was loose on the beginning of the race. Now he's saying that it's just hard to pass drivers now. And I was saying earlier, before we had all calamity happen on the backstretch, that Pete Engelmanis, the crew chief for Mike Husby in the 36 car, the car is very good, but he is not very happy with Sean or with Ickes, as that will be something to watch out for here as we come to the restart.
Drama sells, cowboy. I'll tell you
Drama
what.
sells.
You know, a big thank you to Sean Peach stepping in here tonight. That was by special request from Dakota Herman. So a little payback going on, but it was good for Sean to step in. Taking the green flag one more time here, cowboy. Out in front is going to be the 17 machine of Scott Hicks. Dylan Cece back here in that 32 car gets a good start with 4. Eric Mickey, who left pit road first, he's challenging the 32 car for second place here. Looks like he's going to get it coming off turn 2.
Great racing all over the track for these restarts here, as it has been one heck of a good show for this OCRL. Great battle for second, like you said. Mickey is attempting to get by Cece, and now he's going to try and get by Ickes. A 3-4 car battle as they head into turn number 1.
And the 32 car doesn't quite know which lane to stay in. I think he's trying to make up his mind. While that was happening, the 5 car Jason Gaines, he comes sneaking up that here on the bottom for position. Give him looks like possibly second position, and he goes by them all here. The 17 car still up on the outside. Now the 32 car fighting back on the bottom, and the race is on. Dylan Cece for third place. But I'll tell you what, Jason Gaines just kind of snuck by all that happening back here about a half a lap ago for second position. Single file all the way back, guys, until you get back to about 9th position back here. The 52 STP machine in the 08 alongside. Down the back stretch going into turn 3.
That would be Timothy Silman and Alex Boffoli there, as now Thomas Morris wants to voice his opinion in this battle, as now Mike Husby is behind them. Looks like Silliman is going to start losing some spots here. You got to wonder if he has his setup dialed in for these short runs, or if he's going to contend later on in the run.
You know, Atlanta Motor Speedway, we talked about it pre-race. It is a fast track, a very fast track. And a lot of these guys can make that upper lane work. Now, that upper lane, we're not talking about the one up next to the wall. We're talking about the one about the center of the track, as we get another battle for the lead up here, guys. Challenge for the lead, the 4 up on the outside. That's Eric Mickey. Jason Gaines, who snuck up in here about 3 laps ago, challenging the 4 car for the lead up here.
Look at Dylan Cece. He's right all over the back bumper of that number 5 car. You got to wonder if he's going to be patient enough to let these two settle it, or if he's going to try and get by Gaines himself. And he ducks up high. Doesn't look to have anything, but there's Jeff Backey Jr. And this little bottleneck here at the front is closing in Scott Ickes, it's closing in Mike Kirby, and it's closing in Christopher Munger.
Yeah, you know, and that's typical. These guys up here start duking it out up here. That just gives a little more time for the rest of them.
He's loose. He's loose. He hits the inside wall. He is slow. You gotta wonder, the number 8 car now coming through 3 and 4, but he has lost a ton of ground. You gotta wonder what the damage was to the tires, and more importantly, the car, as Backey has lost numerous positions. He now finds himself at 21st.
Yeah, it looks like he might have taken an e-ticket ride, guys. Rolling it back on my monitor here a little bit. Looks like they're coming through turns 1 and 2 here. Gets down into the turn, got a good entry on it coming in. But then looks like the back end breaks loose coming off of turn 2. Tries to hang on to it. He's going to tag that inside wall. Just barely tags it. And a little bit of left side damage to the back of that 8 machine. Keeps all 4 tires on the ground, pointed in the right direction. But the 8 car giving up a ton of position here, guys.
Meanwhile, still great battle here at the lead. Mickey is going to cut down in front of Gaines, but now here comes Kirby underneath CC for third. One heck of a great battle around this racetrack. No matter where you look, you throw a stick, you're going to hit a great battle.
You bet. Still side by side up here in the front, and I'll tell you what, the 32 car Dylan CC watching all that take place. Take it back a couple of steps further here in the 20 machine, 4th place back here. Mike Kirby, he's watching those 2 guys duke it out up there in the front, thinking, okay, any day now, you know, those 2 are going to tangle, and it'll be my turn.
On the back bumper there, and Kirby's in the wall. Kirby nails the outside wall. Doesn't nail it too hard, but enough to hurt his momentum, as it looks like Sigler and Igus are going to go by, and that'll drop him outside of the top 5. That'll put him 7th.
99 laps in the books, guys. They come around, pick up lap 175 to go here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And I tell you what, they're starting to ramp it up here just a little bit. Going to take it back here just a little bit. We're looking for that 07 machine who has finally worked himself up inside the top 10. In fact, he's sitting in 10th place. That's Dakota Ehrman. Nope, scratch that. 9th place, the 07 car, Dakota Ehrman, who suffered right from the very get-go of the race here tonight, guys. Went down 4 laps. He almost loses it coming off of turn 2 down the back stretch, but he fought back.
Allow Husby to make a run there.
You bet. Dakota Ehrman fighting back, was 4 laps down, got them all back through a series of cautions, and now sitting up inside the top 10 here, guys. So Ehrman and that 07 machine on the move, side by side with the 88 going into turn 1.
Other than the front 2, there's great battles all over this racetrack. You look at that, as now Ehrman is probably, and it looks like he is going to get the pass done. Looks like Dakota Ehrman moves up to 8th. And if I'm in the front, I'm going to start watching for that 07. I'm going to start hollering at my crew chief as Munger has an issue. Munger losing numerous spots. He's going to lose 4 spots as he drops all the way down to 7th. And now Dakota Ehrman's new victim.
And back here in 11th position, guys, the 99 car of C. Thomas Morris Jr. Now he's got a passel of cars up in front of him. The 88 getting out of shape for coming off of turn 2 there, but the 99 car ducks down on the inside. Going to try to get the 88 for position here, coming through turns 3 and 4. But kind of a little bit of a battle happening there. But the 88 kind of cleaned that up here a little bit. 36 machine, Mike Husby, who has a little bit of right rear damage to that 36 car. Of course, he was caught up in a couple of cautions tonight, I believe, guys.
Yeah, he was involved with an incident with the number 17 of Scott Ikus, and as you said earlier, he has some serious anger towards the 17, so you got to wonder what he will do if he ever gets there. He's only 2 cars back, so got to wonder if he's going to try something.
Drama sells, Cowboy, I tell you what, and you know, a place like Atlanta Motor Speedway, you can bring it out. But let's go back out in front. Let's go way out in front. In fact, let's go all the way out in front. I'll tell you what, Cowboy, Eric Mickey up here in that 4 car, he's just walking away from the rest of the field, but he's got kind of a tow rope thrown back to that number 5 machine in 2nd position. That's Jason Gaines back here, who kind of snuck his way up there, remember, right after that restart. And Jason Gaines hanging on to a 2nd position. But I'll tell you what, Eric Mickey just walking away from the rest of the field up here.
Like I said earlier, Jason Gaines has kind of taken a little bit of a break from the OCRL. Came back to run this event, and he has shown that he hasn't missed a step. He is running 2nd, only about half a second behind Eric Mickey. And that is one very, very high contested battle. If Mickey loses just a little bit of ground, Gaines will be right on the back bumper of that NRA Chevrolet.
And Dakota Ehrman.
Through the grass.
Almost, yeah, hanging on to it. I tell you what, he's working hard But I was just going to say, last time by, he was almost lap for lap, same lap times as Eric Mickey up here. But of course, that little mistake cost him dearly, as he slips back a couple of positions here now.
Looks like he's going to fall into 12th spot when all is said and done.
And that's that's a tough break, David. You get the position, you earn them the hard way. Something happens, you lose a couple. Now you got to fight to get them all back again.
Yeah, and that's what we're going to have to see from Jeff Backey Jr. We'll give you an update on him here in a second, find out where he is in the field. But there goes Dakota, right on by. He's going to go ahead and take that 11th spot.
He's playing with that apron line down there too, Cowboy. And I'll tell you what, he's getting dangerously close to the grass on coming through the dogleg down the front stretch. But in front of him, let's take it up to 9th position up here, guys. The 99 machine. He's trying to run down that 55 car. Christopher Munger, remember that 55 car was involved in a couple of cautions here as well. And then out in front of him, Mike Husby in 7th position, that 36 machine. Also a little bit of rear damage to him. So
just look who is in front of that number 36 now. The same guy who tagged him earlier, Scott Ickes. You gotta watch this. Let's see what's gonna happen here. Looks like Ickes is doing the smart thing and giving Husby a ton of room. Quickly on Christopher Munger and Thomas Morris. Those two are teammates, so you gotta wonder if they'll give each other a little bit of slack here.
Maybe they'll put the boxing gloves on when they get back to the garage.
Maybe, who knows? We might need some OCRL officials down there to kind of break up something that might happen.
Well, I'll tell you what, if I was the team leader, I'd probably take him back to the shop, set up a boxing ring, give him a pair of gloves, and tell him, go at it, boys.
Yeah, of course, Husby drives for K&M Racing. Scott Ickes is part of, let's check here real quick. I had it right here. Oh yeah, that's right. He drives for, he's a division of Pinnacle, actually. He's a satellite team to Pinnacle Racing, so I believe it's King Crossover Racing he drives for. Looks like the top 10 is nice and strung out.
I was going to talk about the OCRL here a little bit. They started back in 2006, and I believe, David, back then they were involved with the the PlayStation games? What do you call those things? Console games, I guess?
Yeah, the old NASCAR series on the EA Sports NASCAR series. I wasn't around back then. I just recently joined up at the beginning of this season, but it's a great group of guys, fun group. They hang out on TeamSpeak nearly every night. You can always find good information on the league, and if you would like to join at TheOCRL.com.
TheOCRL.com, and I'll tell you what, they started out as the East Coast Racing League in 2006. 2009, they changed the name to what it is now, Online Championship Racing League, hence the OCRL, and they started in 2010, another milestone apparently. They call it the OCRL 2.0. Apparently they did a redo of the website, and then of course got involved with the other racing games. Of course that brought them to iRacing here, and of course tonight watching these guys duke it out at Atlanta Motor Speedway. 175 laps on the board, 114 in the book, so we are on the downhill side, Cowboy.
Yeah, and I tell you what, we got a new second place man, and his name is Mike Kirby, as he got around Jason Gaines as we were talking there, and now it looks like Gaines is about to lose third to Shannon Sagler, so it looks like as if Gaines has worn the tires off the car or something.
This, I'll get my handy dandy calculator out here. This may be one of the longest runs we've seen here tonight, guys.
Oh, it's got to be by far. I honestly think it is. I mean, these guys have now been out there for almost 20 laps, 15, 20 laps now on green flag conditions. Probably the longest run that they've had since the beginning of the race. And these guys are now experiencing things with their cars that they probably never thought that they would see tonight. Now that we have a little bit of a longer green flag run.
Yeah, it's gonna be more like 30 laps here, guys. Remember last caution was around lap 85 or so. So we'll give them 30 laps on this set of tires. Got to think they're probably about halfway, maybe 3/4 of a way through a run here. So we're seeing what looks to be evidence of that as these guys motor on around here. And I'll tell you what, while the racing is clean and green, why don't we go ahead and step away? Let's take another commercial break and come right back. Could be seeing some green flag pit stops here coming up in the next 15 to 20 laps, I would imagine. So let's go ahead and step away. We'll take our break right here, right now. You're watching live, ETV Live, Cowboy, Atlanta Motor Speedway with OCRL. Don't wander off. We'll be right back. Hey, JD here with ETV Live, and let me tell you something. If it's too big for the pickup truck and you need to move it, there's only one trucking company you need to call, and don't bother with the Yellow Pages, Cowboy. I'll give you that number in a minute. Manufactured goods, automotive, technical equipment, furniture, even if you need a reefer, Gary Mercer Trucking Incorporated is the only choice, Cowboy. With locations in Mississauga, Ontario, Canada, Rancho Cucamonga, California, if you need to move it, store it, and keep it cold, you need to call Gary Mercer Trucking Incorporated. Long haul, short haul, or just across town, Gary Mercer has the best trained and qualified drivers to get your load from point A to point B with professionalism and on time. So remember, Hoss, if it don't fit in a pickup truck, you're going to need a real truck, Cowboy. Sponsors of ETV Live's Friday Night Showdown, Gary Mercer Trucking Incorporated, 1-800-668-2980. And we are back live here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And I'll tell you what, Cowboy, don't forget tomorrow night, Friday Night Showdown here. I believe we're at Richmond Speedway. So that ought to be quite the race. We'll be there with Michael Conti, Ian Plash, and Dakota Ehrman. The whole crew will be there. Friday Night Showdown. Don't forget the pit report starting at 7 o'clock on ETV Live Radio. We run that up to about 8:10. Get ready for the pre-race activity for Richmond Friday Night Showdown right here live on ETV Live and on the ETV Live Radio. Dylan Cece up here in third position, guys. That 32 machine, about 2 laps ago, fourth position, went around Shannon Siegler here a little bit. Siegler showing signs of possible tire wear here, guys. Don't forget, we're about, say, 38, 39 laps into a run here. Last caution back on lap 85. 124 laps in the books right now, Dave.
Yeah, and you know what? If we stay green here on the end, these guys can make it on one more stop. On fuel, they'll be skating around on tires, but they will be able to make it on fuel if they get one more stop. Rumor has it that a lot of the teams were able to get nearly 57 laps on 18 gallons of Sunoco gasoline, so that E15 lasting quite a bit here tonight.
You bet. Now Eric Mickey turning 30.251. Dakota Ehrman back here in ninth position, guys. 30.461 crossing the line. So Ehrman on the way to the front, trying to get that '07 machine back up towards the front. Worked himself back up inside the top 10, sitting in ninth, and almost getting a little bit sideways coming off of turn two. But then we've been seeing that all night long from just about everybody here. But what you don't want to do is play with that apron line down there come through 3 and 4. That is absolutely no man's land down there. E-ticket ride can be expected if you get two tires across that lane down there.
Absolutely. If these guys, I bet you any money, a lot of these guys are starting to say, oh, I hate my car, the tire's doing this, they're making mad about their cars. They aren't happy with the way that they're handling, but that's the way they got to deal with these worn tires.
Matt Kingston in the 22nd position, that 31 car, just making his way back out on the track after a pit stop. So Kingston, the first one down, and looks like an extended pit stop for that 31 car to pull some sheet metal out away from the tires. 22-second stop for him, but he's back out on the track now, 2 laps down.
Yeah, now focusing back on the top 5, it looks like Thomas Morris wants to get in that top 5. Jason Gaines has been kind of, as he taps the apron, slides up a little bit, loses quite a bit of ground, but Morris was trying to get into that top 5 as Gaines was struggling with the old tires. Looks like Ehrman just hit the wall, guys.
Oh, man. I swear that kid's having a bad night.
He keeps it going, but looks like he nailed the outside wall coming into turn number 1.
And the last time by 30.084. Mickey, who was out in front with that number 4 car, 30.260. So I tell you, Dakota Ehrman desperately trying to get that machine of his up into the top 5 here tonight. 130 laps in the books, and this thing is starting to wind down here, guys. About 45 more laps to go. Don't know if Ehrman, that '07 machine, going to have enough time or not. And we've got a number of cars, and now one
caution
lap or
is
more.
out.
Oh, and a caution comes out right in front of the 16 car here. That's going to be the 51 car of Julian Medor.
And the 33 of Steve Cox.
And it looks like Medor coming through the turn here. He just gets down on that apron line, and there we go. We're just talking about it, David. 2 tires across that apron line down there, and that upsets the car, sends him into a spin, backs it into the outside wall, tags it, gets himself a souvenir, and then gets plowed by, I believe that was the 51 machine. No, the 33 car of Stephen Cox.
Yeah, well, this opens up pit strategy. Everyone's going to be coming in because they can make it from here. Let's see what the pit stop picture is like.
At first I thought it was a 16 car involved in that, but the 16 jumping off the throttle, he does tag the wall coming off of turn 2, but it's the heavy action in front of him that does the most damage. 33 car, heavy smoke coming out from underneath the hood of that machine as he gets back down on pit road. But I believe this is caution number 6 for the night, guys.
Yeah, and it came at a perfect time for Eric Mickey. He was losing a lot of time. He was losing that lead that he had built up at the beginning of the run, and now it looks like Mike Kirby is going to be the first one off.
Mike Kirby, first one off pit road. Check the statistics here and see what we got from Mike Kirby. Mike Kirby, 7.8 second pit stop. Gonna roll it back here. That's got to be a 2-tire stop, guys.
Had to be.
You know, with less than 40 laps to go here, or just a shade over 40 laps to go here at Atlanta, would you risk a 2-tire change here to try to keep that car out in front?
Honestly, when you think about it, we just had a long run, so I don't know if that was the smartest move. Then again, we haven't seen anybody take 2 tires after such a long run. Maybe the tires plateau and then they just stay at a certain level, but I don't know. I personally would have came in for 4 tires.
That was a 47 lap run, guys.
And he's coming back in.
Oh.
Oh, I wonder if something went wrong, if there was a miscommunication in between the driver and the crew, but Kirby is coming back in and is going to give up the top spot and all that track position. By the way, hearing that Mike Husby was caught speeding on pit road and is going to serve a end of the longest line penalty.
And we've actually got Mike Kirby on our radio. Mike, what's going on, bud? You got us up here in the booth?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, bud, what happened down there on pit road? Looks like you lost a bunch of positions there. Something happened with the car that you weren't happy with?
Yeah, I forgot to make a change, and I also forgot to check back my 4 tires, so I accidentally took 2.
Yeah, because up
All
here
right.
we were almost debating that. We were like, well, it's been kind of a long green flag run, and for you to go on 2 tires, I don't know if that was the right decision.
Yeah, I was getting ready for a green flag stop, and I was going to take 2. I just forgot to uncheck them back under caution.
You know, through the night, Mike, we've been watching some of these guys take 2 tires. Not a whole lot of 2-tire changes here tonight. I got a funny feeling they were experimental. So, you know, at this stage of the game, do you think a 2-tire change would have been advisable or not?
There's too many laps left to make 2 tires. It wouldn't hold up.
Hey, got you there. Now, I'll tell you what, Cowboy, looks like you're going to restart. Looks like 7th position possibly. We'll have to wait till our telemetry settles down. Actually, you're going to start way back in the back. You got something for these guys up here to get back up in front?
Oh yeah, I'll make it back up there.
All right. Wise words from Mike Kirby.
All right, thanks, Mike, and good luck to you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, you heard it in his voice, guys. You talk about confidence. No problems, Cowboy. We'll get it back up there. So Mike Kirby looks like he's going to restart all the way back here in 17th position, guys. That's just 3 cars away from the last one, that 16 car of Todd Smith, all the way in the back. So
Yeah.
Kirby's got his work cut out for him, David.
And I know you're the one with the cowboy slang, but if I could say, he had a little giddy up in his voice at that point. He sounded like he was ready to go for this restart. We'll have to keep a camera on him and see how he's going to go through the field here as we come to the restart with less than 50 to go.
Shannon Sigler, he's going to pick up the green flag, but he's got C. Thomas Morris Jr. Boy, there's a mouthful. That 99 machine. Jason Gaines, Dylan Cece, Eric Mickey along for the ride up here in the top 5. But still keep an eye on that 07 machine of Dakota Ehrman. Worked his way up into 7th position on the restart. Green flag is out.
Wow.
Sigler picks it up, and we are off and running here at Atlanta.
A very tight restart. It looked like Sigler had a tough time getting going, and he jumped out to a huge lead. I wonder if he was sandbagging and checking the brakes on the field there.
Almost looking like the 5 car might have given him a little bit of a boost there. 32 car getting in the back of the 99 on the restart, but all is good.
Looks like the 86 of Cody McCorkle just smacked the outside wall going into turn number 3, further deep in the back, but the battle is up front. 3-car battle for the lead.
32 car alongside the 5 on the bottom here, the 5 up on the top here. I tell you what, Dylan Cece, that 32 car, he has just absolutely come alive since about the halfway point here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And I tell you what, the last time he snuck up in here, he did it very quietly. This time he's making a lot of noise. He just puts the nose right underneath the 5 there, squeezes himself right in. They've been side by side now for about 3/4 of a lap, crossed the start-finish line. They're still going after it into turn 1.
Absolutely. Remember, Dylan Cece has won 3 out of the last 4 events here at the OCRL, looking to make it 4 out of 5 and 3 in a row.
Stacking up behind back here in 5th position, the 4 car, Eric Mickey up on the top side. He's got the 55 down on the bottom. 55's been struggling all night long here, but I tell you what, solid top 5 run right now if he can hang on to it. But I tell you, the 4 car of Eric Mickey, he's been hanging out up here in the front all night long, guys.
And look who's sneaking into that picture. The number 07, Dakota Ehrman. Who'd have thunk it at the beginning of this race? With him being 4 laps down due to some issues, but he's come back, gotten all 4 laps back, and is now running in the top 6.
You bet. And I tell you what, doing it the hard way, and I hope he's concentrating. That's what I told him when we got together a little bit during the pre-race. You know, just keep focused on that windshield, cowboy, and get the job done here tonight. But working himself back up inside the top 10, that 07 machine, certainly putting the pressure on the 99 car up there in the front. So it won't be long now, cowboy. A lot of action taking place up in front.
Tell you what, we just had a Bass for the lead. Ziegler got loose coming off of turn number 2. Dylan Cece moves all the way to the lead, and Jason Gaines is going to try and go there with him.
Follow the leader as the 5 car stays right glued to the bumper of the 32, and we'll see what happens coming off of turn 2 here. When they do, the air upsets on that car in the front. 32 car gets just a little bit of a wiggle, hangs onto it, puts the block on the 5 car.
Oh!
5 car off the track.
Ehrman. They keep it straight, both of them.
Oh, the 5 car still off the track, trying to get it back. 5 car,
Caution.
Big trouble. Caution out, guys. Caution is out.
It looked like Ehrman. Ehrman doesn't appear to have the damage, but he definitely got sideways.
That might have been a, you know, I'm rolling it back here to see what happened. That might have been a result of what was happening way up in front. He gets it's a little bit wild coming off of turn 2, down the backstretch. Ehrman, Dakota just gets out of shape going into turn 3, guys, and he also tangles with that apron line.
Yeah, both of them running for real estate that isn't really prime. As they come down the back, or as they come down, it looks like we'll see what pit stops have a tail, and everyone's coming in again.
And the caution flag is going to fly for the number 10 car here again, guys. Sean Sadler and I think Michael Keaton in that 15 car.
He was having a good run, was just trying to stay clean, and just got involved in it.
Looks like a 10 car not able to hang on to his line up here. Keaton trying to stick his nose under the bottom, and the 10 car just not willing to give it up. But I believe that's what's going to bring the caution out here. I believe that's going to be caution number 7, guys.
Yeah, it will be as we look at the race off of pit road. Dylan Cece will get off pit road first, followed by Eric Mickey and Shannon Ziegler.
All right, a number of 2-tire stops. The 32 car, the 4 car of Mickey, 2 tires for him, or actually fuel only for Cece, I believe. Fuel
no, he got
for
tires.
Eric Mickey. Oh, did he get
got
tires?
I saw him. He got 4 fresh Goodyears.
All right, I guess perhaps my telemetry isn't quite up to speed, but caution number 7 here at Atlanta. Let's go ahead and step away, take a quick commercial break. When we come back, maybe we can get to the end of this thing. You're watching live, ETV Live Cowboy, the only choice in town. So don't wander off. We'll be right back. And we are back live at Atlanta Motor Speedway, one of the fastest tracks on the circuit, at least the fastest mile and a half track on the circuit. And we are here tonight with OCRL coming off of caution number 7 to 15, and I believe it was a 10 car involved in that one. A lot more racing coming your way. You want to check the calendar over there at etv-eplay.net. That's home base for us. As I try to get it up here, I can't hold the button down on my
all right,
communication
I'll
thing.
take over and I'll tell you guys about a tweet that I just got. Another tweet. I know you're not a big fan of the Twitter, but I just got word from Peter Gamanis, the crew chief for Mike Husby, that before the previous caution, not the one that just happened, but the one before that, Husby was quoted as saying, "I'm gobbling them up like an all-you-can-eat buffet. Let's see if he can get back up there."
All-you-can-eat buffet. Green flag is back out, Cowboy. And I'll tell you what, Mike Husby has picked it up. Chris, let's just call him Thomas Dukes up here in the front as well. But I'll tell you what, on this restart here, a little bit of a shake-up. Dukes takes second place as Dylan Cece goes past him on the restart.
Yeah.
17 car of Scott Hicks still up here. He's trying to get up here, get up there as well. Scott Hicks has been playing around up here in the top 5 pretty much all night long.
Yeah, and I don't know how Husby ended up in the front. I don't know if he just stayed out on the caution, but he is about to... Oh, and Backey! He's loose. He's in the grass. And he's around. Jeff Backey Jr., the points leader, around into turn number 1. Caution is out.
Caution is out. This will be number 8 here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. So this may set up one of those sprint-type races at the end. Maybe that's when we should have started broadcasting, is maybe about lap 130.
Yeah, and once again, thanks for hanging through and being here with us here at the here at ETV Live and sticking with us for this OCRL race. And as for those of you who have just joined us, one heck of a good race that we are seeing now. It was, I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of scary there at the beginning, caution after caution, but now we've developed a little bit of a fun run here.
Let's take it back to the caution here, the 8 car. That's going to be Jeff Backey Jr. coming down the front stretch here through the tribal. Puts a couple of tires, now we've seen this time and time again, puts a couple of tires on the other side of the grass, and away he goes. It upsets the car just a little bit. It's difficult to get it back when you got grass on one side and pavement on the other. But he gets off, gets through the grass, almost flipping the thing. It actually got airborne, I think, but winds up spinning around. That's going to bring the caution out. This is going to be number 8 here for the night.
And with the leaders not really getting all that much on their tires, it was only about maybe a lap and a quarter of this 1.51 to 4 mile oval. None of them have come down pit road, so it looks like we're gonna have Dylan Cece as the leader and Mike Husby in second. Good run for Mike after that recovery. He was the first caution of the night, obviously, and he's running well in second. And Eric Mickey third. And Scott Ikes 4th, and Shannon Segler in 5th. As for those of you guys looking to join this great league, TheOCRL.com. They have great races. They have great leagues in store. They got a Sunday Night Cup Series. They got this Thursday Night Nationwide Series. And they usually have a pretty sizable field, and they also have a late model series and a truck series that run on Tuesdays that alternate. Anyways, JD has caught up with Dakota Airman.
Dakota on the radio, but having some major problems here tonight, Cowboy. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling a whole lot better than what I was at the start of the race. We had something go wrong in the car. Couldn't get it fixed till about 4 laps into the race, and I mean, that 4 laps was I was kind of upset with that, but I mean, we was able to come back somehow with all these cautions, kind of unexpected, but able to come back and get these laps back and be up front is pretty cool. I mean, these guys are fast, and it's getting real hard to make any passes. Everybody's pinching you down. Everybody's just fighting real stupid here, it seems like. But I mean, I'm guessing good racing to watch.
Hey, Dakota.
You were up there in the top 10 there for a while. I believe as high as 7th, but I seen where you tangled with that apron line down there. Got it upset just a little bit, lost some positions. You gonna be able to get them back before the end of this thing?
If I can go from where was I, about 27 to 4 laps down to the top 10, I guarantee I'm going to be able to come back up there. I'm hoping, but I mean, all the guys at JRM have really strong cars, and I think we've shown that all day with Eric been up front quite a bit. We're looking for this to kind of go green to the end, and we have something for them for sure. I mean, these guys worked on the setup with me all night yesterday, and we've had this thing just set on a rail. We're coming.
All right. Good luck to you, Dakota.
Yeah, best of luck.
Thank you, sir. Don't forget to like the Chad Cole Fan Club for life on Facebook.
Look at that guy. Middle of a race and he's plugging some sites.
I'll tell you what, you know, the kid's got everything going for him.
That he does, as we've gotten 2 to go, and now we're about to get the 1 to go. And we have got 26 laps to go. We're going to have about 25 laps left when we get the green flag here. Our top 5, Dylan Cece, Mike Husby, Eric Mickey, Scott Ickes, and Shannon Segler. Moving through the rest of the field, Jason Gaines 6th, Thomas Morris 7th, Michael Keaton, hey, he snuck up to 8th, Mike Kirby 9th, and Christopher Munger 10th.
And we've also got Mike Husby on the line, guys. Mike Husby down there, he's going to restart second here tonight. Mike, you got something for CC up here?
I hope so. This thing's been handling perfect all night, and we've been able to move right through the field all night, so hopefully we got something for them, but who knows, we'll find out here pretty soon.
You bet. You've got about a quarter of a mile away. You got any strategy figured out yet?
I'm thinking if a caution comes out, we may pit at the leader pits, but other than that, we're kind of stuck with what we got.
Alright, well, best of luck to you, Michael.
Thanks.
So here we go for the restart. Alright, here we go. Restart. Dylan Cece gets a good jump, and we're back under green here in Atlanta. Practically the length of an A-main. 25 to go.
25 laps to go here at Atlanta Motor Speedway, Cowboy. And I'll tell you what, this is the part of the race we've all been waiting for. This is where the fun starts, as Dylan Cece out there in front. Now, we heard from Husby here just a little bit ago. Husby going to try to put something together and take it away from Cece up here.
Look at this battle for third. Scott Ickes and Jason Gaines, 2 guys who have been in the top 10 most of the night, now battling for that bronze medal podium spot, if there were a podium here.
Oh, and Husby having some major electrical problems, guys. Husby in that 36 car, looks like he might be having some major electrical problems.
You hate to see that. Unfortunately, it looks like that car is just going to disappear right out of this battle, as there he is. Let's see if he can hang on there.
And you got the 5 car of Jason Gaines alongside for a position here, so tell you what. Whoa, the 5 car around. Caution is out.
Into the outside wall. Caution is out.
Caution comes out. Something going on. It almost looked like a netcode issue. Might have coming off of that 36 machine, guys. No, but nothing is even around that 5 car, and it just takes a nosedive into the outside wall and goes for an e-ticket ride.
Yeah, first class.
And roll it back here again and take a look at it, but
I think that was netcode. You look at the wreck once again, it looked like Husby didn't seem to get into him. It looked like physically, at least from my point of view, it looked as if it was a netcode issue.
Yeah, that's we've been seeing that here recently in some of the races here with iRacing, but unfortunately it bit the 5 car and bit him hard, and probably going to destroy his night. So very unfortunate.
such a good run tonight too. Was running very well in the top 5 most of the night, and for that to happen due to the net code is not very, very good. As now, Husby nearly gets into another driver coming into pit lane. He nearly tags the 36 as Dylan Cece and Scott Ikas come in. As Husby did not have a clear shot into pit road. I wonder if when we brought him in, that caused some sort of netcode mumbo jumbo type issue. But as you said, a lot of people have been experiencing netcode issues with iRacing lately, as hopefully it's not a sign of things to come.
You know, we've typically seen this in the open wheel cars, and that's already a known fact. It has more to do with the car model itself than anything else, but unusual to see that bad a one occur at a place like Atlanta Motor Speedway. So don't know if this is something new, you know, for Atlanta, or what the deal was, whether it was related to that 36 machine. I really don't know. I don't want to pin it on the 36 car. I don't think the 36 car really had anything to do with that. It was really nobody's fault, but certainly 5 car, Jason Gaines, a victim of that
Incident.
accident.
Yeah.
Incident, yeah.
It was indeed a incident. As now JD, you've caught up. We've got him on the radio. He's running 5th. Michael Keaton.
Michael the Batman Keaton, you're fired, dude. You're fired.
He's Batman.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, Michael Keaton, I've been watching you. You've been horsing around back there in the back long enough, cowboy. You gonna have something for these guys up here in the front?
Yeah, I do. And that last pit stop, I made an adjustment and put a little bit of extra tape on there. So I think I got some for them.
20 laps to go, guys. And I know you've had your problems here tonight, too. Of course, your counterpart, Dakota Irvin, struggling from the beginning of the race, but trying to hang on here tonight with a top 10 finish. But I'll tell you what, Cowboy, if you don't finish this thing up here in the top 3, you're fired.
Hey, I tell you, I'm teaming up with that Alex that's behind me, Timothy that's behind me, and I told him, I said, look, guys, this is our opportunity to box Dakota in, keep him out of the front. I said, I got to beat him, whatever it takes.
Oh, God. Maybe we better set up the boxing ring back at the ETV Live office. What do you think?
Yeah, at the studios. Maybe we can get some
It's going to be
in there. And...
This is going to be a pretty interesting restart, guys, from what everybody's communicating in the race right now.
All right, Michael, I'll tell you what, Cowboy, I know you got business to tend to down there, but like I said, if you don't finish in the top 3, you're going to get your pink slip when you get back to the office.
10-4, sir.
All right. Michael Keaton, one of the best broadcasters that ETV Live has ever had. In fact, him and Dakota Irvin, you get those two paired up on a team, you know, on a broadcast, and I'll tell you what, they just do an outstanding job. But it's good to see Michael Keaton out here running and having some fun with these guys as well.
They'll talk circles around you, and they'll run circles around you too.
You bet. And I'll tell you what, this race can be viewed again, guys. You can go to the etv-eplay.net, click on the ePlay link up there. That'll take you right to the archives, thanks to YouTube. And we've got, I believe John said we've got over 600 races archived. We've also got a link on the ePlay site that you can actually download. About, I think the count was 500 and some. This takes you way back to about 2009.
Yeah.
But I tell you, you can have some fun on a rainy Sunday afternoon. Sit down and download some e-plays from etv-eplay.net.
Yeah, and then you got some entertainment for the winter.
Absolutely, and I tell you, if you're looking to book a race, you know, you can check out the race page up there and get a hold of us and you know, book your races with the best, Cowboy, the leader in sim racing, etv-eplay.net. Of course, the newest feature, Dave, is the ETV Live Radio. All of our broadcasts live on ETV Live Radio as part of the HD Radio Network. Almost 500,000 listeners strong a month through the HD Radio Network as we get ready to take the green flag here. But Actually, we're taking the green flag, but we are green. Ziegler trying to hang on to position out here. Eric Mickey out in front with Kirby tagging along here. This thing starts to run out here, Cowboy. I tell you what, it is game on.
Tell you what, Dragon Eddie, or not Dragon Eddie, but Keaton, who we just spoke to, and Boffley have gotten around Jake Finch, and they are battling hard for that 5th spot, as even behind him, Dylan Cece and Dakota Airman starting to go at it. Great battles all the way through the top 10 here at Atlanta in the closing stages. As oh, here we go, Keaton gets loose.
Oh, contact 3 wide coming up at turn 2. Keaton into the wall, a 15 car.
This is
up
not
on the
gonna
outside.
Work. Someone's going to have to back off, and it looks like it's going to be Sean South. Ah, we got a wreck. Christopher Bunker. And now, that would be the 52, the 55, and the 52, and we got another caution out.
Caution out in the back of all these guys back here, guys. Try to roll it back here and see what...
that was...
way in the back here. The 36 car of Mike Husby involved in this one, guys. He's just having a bad night.
From bad to worse.
But actually starts way up in front of him with the 55 machine of Christopher Munger and the, I want to say that's the 52 machine as well, the STP car.
Yeah, that would be the, let me check here.
Keaton, Michael Keaton's up against the wall. They're going 3 wide down the backstretch, and it looks like the Timothy Silverman in that 52 car drops down in front of the 55. That takes the 55 car out. And then I picked up the 16 car. I'm going to roll back here a little bit, catch up with the 16. Now, he may... I think the... okay, I see what happened. The 16 car was just down on the apron, but I thought I saw him getting out of shape as well.
Yeah, as we have Eric Mickey pitting, Mike Kirby pitting, Dakota Ehrman pitting. Some of the top 10 deciding enough's enough. I want those fresh tires, those 4 fresh Goodyears. And they're getting service done. And it looks as if Mickey gets 2. Mickey gets 2.
Tire change for
Eric Mickey.
Eric Mickey there. Looks like it might have been a 2-tire change for Buffoli.
Might have been as well, and I didn't quite see what was happening on that end of pit
8.4
road.
seconds. 8.4 seconds, guys. So that's definitely a 2-tire change there.
Hearing that Mike Husby was indeed not involved with the caution there. That's from Chris Sweat, my driver on Twitter, after he really wanted to have a good run, but unfortunately things happened, just wasn't able to have a good run, but we know Chris will go at it again next week.
We're going to stay right with the action here. Update on the 15 car. Michael Keaton back up to the front in 4th position, guys. After all that, it looks like he's going to be restarting in 4th. So I'll tell you, if luck could go anywhere, it's going Michael Keaton's way for sure. Scott Ickes up there in 3rd. Dylan Cece, he's been a threat all night long. Alex Buffoli, I believe this is the first time we've seen him this far forward all night long.
Absolutely, playing the pit strategy game, as Dragon Eddie will get the wave around here. John Dragon Eddie actually got the last 2 wave rounds. So John getting back on the lead lap, or back 1 lap down actually here on the restart. Boffley hasn't been that far forward at all tonight, and you gotta wonder if this was a last-ditch effort to try and get the win.
Starting in 21st position here tonight, guys, way towards the back there where Michael Keaton started. So I'll tell you what, we'll see what Buffalo's got for these guys here tonight. Want to throw a shout out to Hostile Contact Simulation Server, guys, providing reliable, quality, and affordable game and voice over IP servers to the online gaming community. And I do believe they are under new management bought out here just recently. Hostile Contact has servers for first-person shooter games like America's Army, all the Battlefield releases, the Call of Duty releases, Counter-Strike, and a whole ton of them. All of them out there. Also featuring all the popular racing games, ARCA, R-Factor, Live for Speed, soon to be released R-Factor 2. Professional web hosting packages also available. You can check them out at Hostile Contact. TheOCRL.com, and I tell you something, they are definitely under new management, and they're going to take hostile contact servers to new places. And talk about those shooter games, David. It's funny because I tell the guys over there at the office that I got one of them shooter games. I'm not really a gamer type of guy,
Yeah.
but that shooter game I got, it only lasts about 10 seconds. I annihilate everything I see.
Well, you
and
got
the
real
thing
life
comes up.
experience, right?
Well, kind of, but but I shoot everything. I mean, the good guys, the bad guys, and then 10 minutes later, the thing comes up and says game over. So what's up with that? You know?
Yeah, what's up with that? You put people in front of me, I'm going to shoot them, you know? Hearing from Robert Hill, who is the owner of the NSC Racing number 08, Boffley says he pitted 20 laps ago, and that crew is packing up the pit stall. They are done for the night. So Boffley has got what he's got right now.
All right, and I'll tell you what, 163 laps in the books. We are definitely on a downhill side of things here tonight.
Going to be about 12 to go when we get this restart. Boffley, Cece, Ickes, Michael Keaton, Mr. Batman in 4th, and Sean Sadler sneaking into the top 5. He's 5th as we come for the restart. Possibly the final one here tonight.
And the 08 car gets a huge jump on the field here, guys, as we get back to green flag racing here. The 17 car down on the bottom, the 32 up on the top, going into turn 1. Side by side here, almost making contact. 32 looking for a hole. He finds it, crawls right down in between the 17 machine there, but now he comes down to the bottom, going to put the 17 on the high side.
He's going to try it again.
Cece's going to the front, Cowboy. He's looking for that 08 machine of Boffley up here in the front.
And you know what? Boffley's got old tires. You got to wonder how long he can hold off the 32 of Cece, who has been on a rocket ship the past week and a half here in the Online Championship Racing League. They're right on the back bumper of Boffley as they come into turn number 2.
99 car down there on the bottom. He's got Sean Sadler up on the top, 4th position. 10 car giving it up, Cowboy. Oh, 10 car takes a souvenir big time. No caution as he lets them all go by. 3 wide. 3 wide up in the front. 88 car to 31.
Cece with the bumper to Boffley. He's on the inside now as they go into turn number 1 with less than 12 to go. Boffley's got to get freight trained here.
Michael Keaton up in the 15 car up here, 4th position, guys. He's looking after the 17 car up there, trying to find a way around. 17 puts a block on him. 17 car down there on the bottom, hugging that apron line down there. He's going to move the 08 machine up the track a little bit, coming off a little bit too much speed. Away he goes, tags the wall. 17 car now chasing down Dylan Cece up here.
Well, this has now changed the entire complexion of this race. Dylan Cece, who has led before tonight, I should say, and has been on fire the past couple of weeks here at the OCRL, is now in the lead. Scott Ickes, the current Cup Series points leader, is 2nd, and the 3rd man in points, Alex Boffley, is 3rd. As Michael Keaton's going to make a move for that 3rd spot. It looks like he's going to be able to do it going into 1.
The 08 machine, I'll tell you what, Cowboy, Alex Boffley up here, he took the gamble, he lost. As the 15 goes by, Michael Keaton, 4th position. That's 3rd position. Oh, Keaton tags the wall, gets a souvenir for himself here tonight from Atlanta.
Oh, there's going to be a lot of souvenirs.
Now he's side by side with the 08.
Caution is out.
Oh, caution is out on the track, guys.
And it looks like Keaton and Boffley might be exchanging some words here after the caution comes out. Looks like they made a little bit of contact, just maybe a hi, how you doing?
It's going to be the 38 car of Shannon Ziegler bringing the caution out here, guys, way back in the back, and he took one of those spinning e-ticket pirouette rides after getting involved with the 31 car coming off of turn 2. We'll back here just a little bit further. I've got Shannon Ziegler on the bottom coming through turn 2 here, and he's got the 31 car up on the top. Everything looks fine. They get almost to the point of the exit, and it looks like Ziegler just kind of drifted up a little bit too high into the 31. That upsets them both. 38 car just goes for one of them e-ticket rides, tags the inside wall, and does that pirouette down the backstretch.
Breaking news, 08, black flag, changing lanes before the line. Alex Boffley, third place, going to have to serve a black flag, changing lanes before the start-finish line. A rule here at the OCRL, you are not allowed to change lanes before the start-finish line. And evidently, Alex Boffley, I don't know if we can get a queued-up replay of that, but Boffley rumored on the restart to have changed lanes.
And I'm actually going to roll it back here to the restart and take a look and see what happened here and see if he actually changed lanes. I've got him now behind the pace car here on the restart. Kind of push the fast forward button here a little bit.
I hate to say it, he did. He did. He came up. He came up over, and he came up into the high line of traffic, and you are not allowed to do that here at the OCRL.
Yeah, but I wonder, you know, he's got plenty of distance on the 32 car, so it's not like, you know, there's any kind of a block going on there, so I'm not quite sure what...
but it's
we'll
a rule.
Admins,
it has been universally enforced here at the OCRL all season. Even the leaders sometimes have been caught using it, just like in that example. You are not allowed to switch lanes before the restart. It has been a rule here for the entire season. In fact, I was victim to it in our race here at Las Vegas in the Nationwide Series earlier this season. So can't complain. It's in the rule book, and unfortunately, I think Boffley is going to have to serve the penalty.
That's going to set him back quite a ways. Pretty much going to end his night, I'm sure. If he serves a black flag penalty, that's going to be that'll be a stop and go on pit lane, I'm sure, or a drive-through. Even if that, it'll put him at least a lap down, possibly.
Well, that's going to make things very interesting with this restart with less than 5 to go.
I don't know that the 8 car, I don't know that the 08 had that much of a shot up here in the front. Looked like he was kind of struggling, you know, just shortly after that restart a little bit. So, I don't know, Dylan Cece's looking awfully strong here tonight. So is that 17 car of Icky's. And
yeah,
we'll see what happens to the 08 car. Of course, okay, looks like he's being given an end of the longest line. So the 08 machine of Alex Boffley going to have to start in the back of the pack. That puts about 18 cars in front of him. 18 cars in front of him. So tough night for the 08 car.
Well, if anything, this is a little bit better than a black flag where you need to come down pit lane and need to come to a complete halt and then move back out. At least this way he won't go a lap down, but he's seeing all those positions, and more importantly, all those points going by him on the high side, and now he's going to have to jump on the back end of the field. Remember, he was third in points coming in tonight, only about 40 behind Patrick O'Toole, who had a bad night, and he could have really gained some ground here tonight.
Yeah, and he's only 5 points out in front of Thomas Dukes.
Thomas Moore,
so,
yeah.
Thomas Dukes sitting about the middle of the pack, 13th position. So Boffley, you know, has to start behind him. If he can't make up those cars in front of Dukes, this might be a pretty good night for Thomas Dukes.
Yep. But now, the focus on the front. Dylan Cece, Scott Ickes, Michael Keaton, who has snuck into the top 5 recently. That would be Thomas Morris on the outside. And then Christopher Munger, Jeff Backey Jr., look at him, he's back in 6th. That would be Dakota Airman in 7th, Matt Kingston 8th. That would be Mike Kirby in 9th, and Shannon Sigler in 10th. As here we go for possibly the final restart here tonight at Atlanta. A big-time restart. This is where the money is made.
Yeah, this David, this will be the final restart of the night. We're on laps 172, so we basically have a green-white checker to the finish. If the caution flies again on the next lap, it will end under caution, and whoever's at the front will pick up the trophy here tonight. But we'll see what these guys can put together for the last 3 laps of the night here. You're watching live, ETV Live, as the pace car ducks down on pit road. They get side by side, looking for that green flag. It's out and flying. Off we go. The 15 car in here in 3rd position, looking to catch up to the 17. But I'll tell you what, the 32 car, Dylan Cece, who's been a class act all night long, gets a huge jump over everybody. The 17 trying to chase him down. The 15 car about 2 car lengths behind, and back of him, the 99 car putting on the pressure. When they come by, 2 to go.
Yeah, it looks like CC got a really good restart. That went exactly to plan, as now Thomas Morris is all over the back bumper of the 15 of Michael Keaton. As here they go for 2 laps to go. CC, Ickes, Keaton, Morris, Munger, the top 5 as they go through 1 and 2.
When they come back around, they'll be picking up the white flag, and you got one shot only, Cowboys. They are single file all the way back to the 99 car, but don't look back. Here comes the 55 car on the bottom here, and the 8 car of Backy. So Munger down here on the bottom of the 99. It's a mad dash to the start-finish line. White flag in the air last time around, Cowboy. This is for all the marbles. As Keaton up here, he's hanging on to that 3rd place up here, looking in that mirror, trying to put the block on, cover that position up. In the meantime, the leaders, Scott Hicks in the 17, has chasing down Dylan Cece up here in the front. Cece, no sweat. I'll tell you what, this Cowboy's got the job done up here as Scott Hicks tries to run him down. The 15 car is going to finish 3rd. The 55 car of Christopher Munger for 5th position, guys.
Yep. Dylan Cece,
4th
we
position.
said he has been the class of the field lately, and he adds another piece of hardware to that mantle, as Dylan Cece has won the OCRL race at Atlanta. One heck of a show.
Wow, what a they're racing. 175 laps later, and I'll tell you what, I believe it was 9 cautions, we'll call it, for the night. Kind of a tough night here at Atlanta, but you know, nothing all that unusual. I would call it a good night of racing.
Very, very entertaining final few laps. Shame for Thomas Morris. Nailed the outside wall, lost a couple spots right there at the end, but it will be Dylan Cece, your winner at Atlanta. And that would be Scott Ickes 3rd or 2nd, and hey, Michael Keaton, the Batman, finished 3rd.
Good finish for the Batman down there. I'll tell you what, and I hope he had a night of fun here at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Absolutely.
But it is over. The 32 car of Dylan Cece celebrating with his win as we watch the replay on the screen there, coming across the start-finish line. CC down there burning off what's left of the rubber on them tires down there in celebration of the win here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. While he does that, we're going to step away, take a quick commercial break. When we come back, post-race show with your winners. So don't wander off, Cowboy. We'll be right back. All right, boys. Welcome back to Atlanta Motor Speedway, Cowboy, and I'll tell you what, it is game over here tonight. What a night of racing for OCRL, the Online Championship Racing League, and it was a championship night here tonight. And I believe David is standing by with our third place winner tonight, Michael Batman Keaton.
Well, Batman, good run tonight. Got the third place. Tell us about your day.
Hey, David. Great run. I love the league. Everybody was pretty resourceful with knowledge at the beginning of practice and all. And man, I tell you, the race was exciting. I think my hands are still shaking from wheeling that thing the last 10, 15 laps. A lot of guys pitted. I stayed out. Pretty good decision. So it was a lot of fun racing. And my nerves are really real high right now.
I could tell.
Yeah.
Well, you got anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, my grandmother watched the broadcast for the first time, so if she's still watching, hey, thanks for hanging around watching me run up front there towards the end. And then Amber, of course, she watched and over my shoulder. She moved my chair a couple of times, too, in some spots, which almost made me wreck. Which, that's my excuse for getting in the wall there a couple of times. And then my mom and dad, they watched, and if they didn't stay up, I know they'll watch the replay. And new teammates, great job. Not sure what happened with Alex. Still trying to get the final word on that, but the team did a great job, and I look forward to running with them next week.
Well, looking forward to that. That was Michael Keaton, your third place finisher. As we move on to Scott Ickes, second place man. And Scott, great run here tonight. It's not the cup car that you're leading the points in, but it was sure a nice run for you, even though that.
Yeah, these cars are fun to get into every once in a while and wheel them. So we had a good base up to go off of and run. And with the help of teammates like Dylan and Thomas and Chris, we got it going pretty good there. We just battled back the entire night. We were up front and back, back and forth, and just pit strategy helped us to get out front and clean air. And track position is way more important at this track than anything else.
Yeah, anybody you want to thank?
Just my teammates, everybody over here that helps us out every week. And anybody watching, it was fun, and hope we get more of these.
All right, well, that was Scott Ickes, your second place finisher. Hey, JD, you caught up with the man who finished first.
Started on the outside of the pole, comes into the race tonight in 12th position, 2 positions out of the top 10. And I'll tell you what a night here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Dylan, how did you do it?
Oh man, the car was really, really loose on the short run, and that really killed me a few times. I know I got loose in front of a few people and may have made them mad. They got into me, and I apologize for that. But the long run, we had easily the best setup out there, I believe. My teammates Scott Ickes, Thomas, Chris Munger, we all worked hard, and I have to thank them for the great setup.
Watching you early in the race, looked like you were just kind of minding your own business there for the most part, and you just kind of snuck right up in there into the top. Up there in the top 4, top 5 up in there. Watching these guys here tonight, Dylan, take us through the race here. 9 cautions later, some of these guys, it looked like it was very loose conditions when you get bumper to bumper, coming off of, especially turns 1 and 2. Come off turn 2, if you're tucked up behind somebody, it looked like the back end of the car coming up off the ground and causing these guys to spin out. Is that something that you were being careful of tonight as well?
Yeah, well, I mean, my car was loose by itself, so when someone got up on me, I was super loose, and that kind of sucked. But especially when someone's on your bumper, everyone gets loose, no matter if you got a tight setup or not. It's just how it is here.
Atlanta Motor Speedway. I tell you what, this is one of the fastest mile-and-a-half tracks in the NASCAR circuit. Does it feel that way to you?
Oh yeah, it's very fast, and when you get loose, it's very scary too. It's a tough track to race on.
Outstanding. Well, I'll tell you what, Cowboy, you're going home with the big one here tonight. Who made it happen for you?
My teammates at Pinnacle Racing, Scott, Thomas, Chris, Matt Kingston, we all work good together, and that's basically it.
All right, then I'll tell you what, you automatically, because you won this race here tonight, you've got a invitation to join us on the Pit Report tomorrow night on the ETV Live radio show with me, and actually Dakota won't be there, but I'll be there. We usually try to feature the winners of the races that we broadcast throughout the week. So I'll get your email information here after a bit, and you're invited to join us tomorrow at 7 o'clock on the Pit Report. So congratulations on the win here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And David, I tell you, 175 laps later, 9 cautions. I thought it was a pretty good night.
And you know what? I appreciate the people who stuck with us, as it is now Friday morning. It is 12:05 on the East Coast here, but one heck of a great night. Great racing all throughout the pack. If you tuned in and this was your first time watching the OCRL, or even hearing about the OCRL, you were thoroughly entertained, I guarantee.
You bet. And stay tuned for some more racing coming your way. Friday night showdown tomorrow night with Michael Conti, Ian Plash, Dakota Ehrman, the whole Friday night crew over there. Lots of fun. Of course, the Pit Report at 7 o'clock with all the winners of the week. And on Sunday night from Angel Park Speedway, dude, if you're into dirt, you want to tune in on Sunday night at 9:30 with Simpro Racing, the PowerEye Lucas Oil midget cars, and they are just an absolute blast. So that's going to be it for ETV Live for tonight from Atlanta Motor Speedway and the Online Championship Racing League. We'll see you next time on ETV Live.
Oh,